Just physically being on U.S. soil does not make you a citizen or qualified to carry on or capable of executing the inheritance of this country. We have people from all over the world, from third world nations, nations that on their own would have never invented the wheel.
How dare you?
Let alone modern technology, let alone medicine, let alone air travel. And they can just come into the country, have a baby at a hospital, paid for by you and me, and then that baby's automatically a citizen. That baby can sit on a jury when he turns 18 and sit in judgment of you, and sit in judgment of me, and sit in judgment of our loved ones, can decide who our mayors are, our governors are, our presidents are. Citizenship means nothing if it is open to everyone.
He's absolutely right.
There is no possible reading of the 14th Amendment that applies to foreigners with foreign loyalties, foreign citizenship, foreign obligations, foreign everything.
Go back to where you come from, okay?
In this world, there's two kinds of people, my friend. Those with loaded guns and those who dig. Broadcasting from a Montana wilderness fortress at the headwaters of the Missouri, this is Matt Christiansen Live.
Hello and welcome to the show. This is Matt Christiansen Live, a proud duct tape production for Wednesday, July 1st, 2026. Happy Canada Day to those of you up north. Thank you for tuning in with us tonight for his usual first Wednesday monthly segment is our friend Frank from Quite Frankly. Welcome back, my friend.
Hello. It's good to be here.
You did the meme. Yeah, you did the meme. You showed up at 8:59:59 and 99/100ths of a second Eastern time.
Listen, it's just as stressful for me as it is for you. Trust me.
That's the thing about Frank, you know. I'm always on edge, but he's never late or not there. He is always here. You can always count on him. It's just going to be a little bit of a rush. That's all.
Yeah, that is.
Not that it's like a disaster if my show goes 1 minute late or something, although I will be called late and gay in the chat, but that's about the extent of the consequences. Anyway.
Well, you know, I just got to say, it's always, I forgot what our July show was last year. Were we on July 2nd or 3rd last year? I feel like we were
Can't remember.
On an eve, and I don't know. It's just incredible to still be doing this with you. And I don't know. There's something about June 30th to July 2nd and 3rd that is, it's just like a sweet spot of summer for me. And I try to slow down everything, and I just love this time of year. I really do.
Well, that's good, because I want to close tonight with some optimism, some classic Americana enthusiasm, because there's a lot to be pessimistic about, which we'll get to. This Supreme Court decision on birthright citizenship is an outright disaster. I want to talk to you about that. But we are heading into America's 250th birthday, and I don't want to be so discouraged that I can't recognize and appreciate that and be the biggest patriotic jackass in my neighborhood this weekend, as everybody should be. But we'll get through all that. By the way, quitefrankly.tv is where you find Frank's show live weeknights 7 Eastern. So Frank and I will talk about the birthright citizenship stuff. We'll talk about Yay America stuff, I hope. Later in the show, Joshy Boy and Batman will join. Now, Joshy Boy has a big announcement for all of us, and I have held on to this secret that he will surprise you with for a couple weeks. So we'll get some news from him. We'll take your calls, voicemails, emails. If you'd like to call the show live, you can do that through the Discord server that's linked in the description. There are instructions and help available on the server for you from producer Tim. If you'd like to leave a voicemail or text message, the numbers in the description. Should have time for a few of those if you get those in the next hour or so. But Frank, let's get right into it. Now, I am when there's a good news, bad news situation, I'm a bad news first guy. I like to close with the good news. So that's why I want to start with the birthright citizenship case. And I got plenty to say about this. This is classic John Roberts. I know everyone's ripping Amy Coney Barrett, I think rightfully so. Kavanaugh, to a lesser extent. This is just vintage John Roberts bullshit, where you ignore the law, you ignore the history, and you write some flowery nonsense as though if you're poetic, it makes you right. But I invite your thoughts on the decision before I get into some of mine.
No, it's really just there's no two ways about it. It is absolutely mindless, and John Roberts is it makes you wonder just how much worse it is, and in whose favor they're really trying to win. Because every other day of the year, all we hear from liberals is just, how the court needs to be stacked and it's a 6-3 conservative majority and all this other stuff. And like, really, you have a wishy-washy 5-4. It really is a wishy-washy 5-4 in many respects. John Roberts is an absolute disgrace. And there is no just commonsensical basis for this conversation to even be had about whether or not a person can cross over the border swollen with child, shit out a kid, and that is now a citizen. That makes zero sense. And when you actually read into all of the documents and all of the debates that were around all those that were centered around those Reconstruction amendments, it's just, again, the country has been ruined by lawyers. You need to have a good lawyer in your life. God bless good lawyers, because they really are just like it's just a barrier. You need it, because the world has been ruined by lawyers. And that is really what is going to be said about this chapter in our civilization, where we are now fighting for our survival. It's not because we were overwhelmed by a superior force. We were overwhelmed by mealy-mouthed freaks, judges, lawyers, and failed statesmen, activists who have turned a country that had a had a lot of self-respect at one point. Nations, Europe, United States, whatever the hell it is, and held us to standards that they do not possess. And while they hold us down, they completely rape and pillage our society. And then threaten us with being called xenophobic and racist along the way if there is any kind of a reasonable pushback against what's being done. It's just absolutely crazy, and that's just what it is. And when you find yourself in the in the ranks of Ketanji Brown, Judge Ketanji,
I thought it was Jumanji.
I mean, man, when you find yourself in those ranks, oh man. You would think just right there'd be a moment of self-reflection for somebody like Moleface Roberts. It's just crazy.
I will admit I did not read the Ketanji Brown Jackson concurring opinion. I did. Now, to say I read them all thoroughly last night would be an overstatement. I did skim them sufficiently to understand the reasoning, but I skipped through Ketanji Brown Jackson's. But I saw there were some highlights in there. She said, She always drops these new kind of colloquial phrases. This time it was understood the assignment. Remember when she wrote, what was the one that she wrote in Casa v. Trump? It was, what did she say? I have it in here somewhere. She wrote like full stop or something in an opinion. No, it was, she wrote wait for it. That's right. This was a Trump v. Casa last year. She wrote ellipses, wait for it, ellipses, as though she's doing meme design or something. Anyway, she had understood the assignment in this one, but getting out ahead of myself here, what I want to emphasize and allow you to consider, Frank, this holding, now the outcome in this case that Trump's executive order restricting birthright citizenship and excluding the children of illegal immigrants and or temporary visitors, I think that was pretty well expected. I'm not surprised by that, but it is fair to say that this holding from John Roberts and the majority is the worst possible holding. Now, if they went with the Kavanaugh route, you could have had something narrower. Kavanaugh's opinion was, well, Congress holds the right to define the terms of the 14th Amendment under Section 5 of that amendment. The president can't really rewrite the terms himself, so the executive order doesn't fly for that reason. But we're not going to talk about, say, the merits of birthright citizenship. We're going to leave that in its congressional domain where it belongs. They didn't do that. This holding is now Supreme Court precedent. And it's very clear, not that Supreme Court precedent can't ever be overturned, but of course it's not easy to do. Children born in the United States to parents unlawfully not just here on temporary terms, but unlawfully, the person who just ran across the border yesterday, like you're talking about, are subject to the jurisdiction of the United States and citizens at birth under the 14th Amendment Citizenship Clause. No. So that, we talk about Wong Kim Ark and some of these other cases that have touched on this issue in the past. We have never had this holding from the Supreme Court that, yes, if you're an illegal immigrant who's pregnant and showed up yesterday, your baby, under the air quotes correct understanding of the 14th Amendment, is a citizen of the United States. So you got the worst possible holding. And if there's anything worse than the holding, it's John Roberts' reasoning. But before I get into that, invite your thoughts on what is now the Supreme Court precedent on this issue.
Yeah, I often ask this question of friends of mine who are really deeper into constitutional law when it comes to the nature of the court, like the whole number nine, that 9 justices. That's nothing. That's just something that was voted on. There's really just a Chief Justice of the United States. That's the Supreme Court in its original intent. But you can do whatever you will. Congress can do whatever they want with that. How it's going to be configured and everything else like that. And the other thing that there is these are just opinions. And this is where it really starts getting strange to me about why do we even have courts? I understand, I'm not. There's got to be some kind of arbiter. I understand that you got to have some place to go to mediate in any kind of a situation between two states. Something that where if we have two states that are having an issue with each other, maybe there has to be some kind of mediation that goes on there. There has to be something where we're talking about intellectual property or whatever the hell it is. It's good to have that. But, when you think about what this is, does it have the power of law? No, it doesn't. It doesn't. There are opinions that can and in many ways should be ignored. And then you say, well, if you can and should be ignored, why do you have a court at all? We're just going to sit around and wait for a judge or a panel of judges to just do the right thing and affirm what has been written down and codified, or what? Or we wait for them to pass something that we don't like, that for either through our own bias or through what is just affirmed through the legal process that it's not right. And then you just say, well, to hell with you anyway. We're doing it anyway.
Yeah. And to your point, and I'm sure I know you talk to a lot of constitutional law people. I'm sure you're aware the entire concept of judicial review was invented by the court. Now, I'm not saying that it's wrong, although I think there's pretty good argument that there is. But it's not as though the Constitution says the Supreme Court is the final arbiter of what the Constitution is. No, they just declared that in Marbury versus Madison, and we've gone along with that. To the point that you're raising, that there, as a practical matter, you kind of need a mediator. You kind of need someone to settle these disputes on constitutional grounds. And we've just decided the Supreme Court makes sense as the institution to do that. Again, I'm not saying that's illogical, wrong, impractical, but to your point, that is not constitutionally required. That is an invention of the court itself.
No, and you can understand, like, resolving disputes is, you got to have somebody, and I can understand that. There's got to be somebody there that it has some kind of vested authority to do that. But when you start legislating from the bench, that is a tradition. That's just a tradition. There is no, this is the law of the land now. So no, it's not. The law of the land is the United States Constitution, and the Bill of Rights is pretty clear. I mean, Article 1, Section 8 is very clear. There's a small little list of things that the federal government can do. Very small little list of things. Those are enumerated powers, meaning that's it. There's no imagination outside of that. This is not a living. Nobody ever sat down and drew with a person that they're going into business with, the person that they're marrying, whatever the hell it is. Nobody ever sat down and signed, put their name, a signature to a contract that is living and breathing. No one ever would do that. You sit down and you are signing for a very specific reason under defined and set terms. And this whole idea of living, breathing documentation is just really, it's fucking sick, because whatever is not enumerated is strictly to the states. That means all of the hot button issues. And of course, the 14th Amendment, which is why they call it the Miracle Amendment, it essentially exists now in the eyes of the lawyers, the Marxists, and all the statists. That it exists to do one thing, and that is to completely override the 10th Amendment and to make everything an enumerated power under the guise of civil rights. Okay, if it is a civil right, if we are going to provide equal protection for all people, then that means that it overrides the 10th Amendment. And it doesn't need to be established during the amendment process or anything else like that. Like, for example, I've been seeing a lot of people wondering about whether or not the 14th Amendment or anything like that should be now changed or amended, or the Constitution should go through that. So you're not. So do you understand what's going on here? That's the craziness about all this stuff. To amend the Constitution is so incredibly hard. It's never going to happen again. It's never going to happen again. I don't know what they could possibly do to pull together not only the super majorities, but the political will just within caucuses like Republicans. You can't even get them to come together and agree that it would be good to get people to show an ID when they vote in an election, even though now that they have affirmed that anybody with a heartbeat can come and vote here.
To your point, even if you get that amendment ratified, when we've granted the premise that judges can just invent the meaning they wish to be in there, who's to say that amendment's going to hold? That amendment could be as clearly written as possible. It'll become magical the next time the Supreme Court wants it to be magical.
Yeah. The real question is, does the Constitution need to be amended because we are engaging in this game of precedent? Like, do we need to go through the process of not only getting 2/3 of the Congress, but then having to get 3/4 of all the state legislatures to sign on for this to be able to change something that has no basis in constitutional law? It is an opinion of a court. I mean, if you just follow the letter of the law, there's nothing, like, for example, the War Powers Act. They're like, we need to make a little bit of a change to the War Powers Act. Oh, really? I mean, I think that I think what I've ascertained is that I guess it would have to just go down that way. The War Powers Act is completely illegal. You can't deploy the military. You can't go attack anybody unless you have a declaration of war. You can't do it. So everybody, whenever an unpopular president comes in, they're like, we need to limit his ability to make war whenever he wants. And it's like, well, I mean, you're the Congress. That was always your responsibility. And everybody at home who doesn't know their ass from their elbow, because they don't teach it in school, they teach about is segregated water fountains in school. That's all anybody ever knows about. They think that, oh, yeah, we need to limit the president's ability to make war. Well, he never had any ability to make war. Never. Everything that we reference, all the precedent we reference, all the laws that were passed that we reference, all of it is like null and void. It has no existence.
And we just pretend like things that are actually well documented aren't well documented. And I don't want to run out of time without getting a little bit more into Robert's opinion, because I got to get your reaction to some of the, when I say classic John Roberts bullshit, this is what I mean, where he's just going to dismiss the law, dismiss the history, dismiss the intent from the people who wrote the law, write a bunch of flowery crap, and act like the flowery crap justifies him. Okay? He writes, considering, again, this entire dispute revolves around what the meaning of subject to the jurisdiction thereof in the 14th Amendment is. It's not just anybody born here, it's people born here and subject to the jurisdiction thereof who are citizens. So that must mean something. What does that mean? The competing theories are mere presence here, which doesn't make sense even from a linguistic standpoint, because that would just be a duplication. People who are born here and are also here, I don't think that was the intent of the writing, but it's not the intent clearly when you look at the historical context. And Roberts is just going to say there's scant evidence for this dramatically revisionist view. Now, he's talking about the concept that subject to the jurisdiction thereof has some component of allegiance and or domicile, which the dissent gets into, where you live or to what government you owe your allegiance.
Yeah.
Scant evidence Okay, he closes. This is the flowery bullshit I'm talking about.
Meanwhile, it's the only explanation.
Right. It doesn't make sense like in a common sense way without that ingredient. But this is the flowery bullshit I'm talking about. He closes at the end of his opinion. Citizenship then and now was the right to have rights, to freely participate in our political community. The framers of the 14th Amendment extended that promise to every freeborn person in the land.
That's incorrect.
You just made that up. Okay. I know that you took that from Trumbull there. Okay, every free person born in this land. He took that from Senator Trumbull, but he's going to say scant evidence and ignore all the actual statements from the people who wrote the 14th Amendment and its predecessor in Congress, the Civil Rights Act. And I'll be quick because I know I'm going on and on here. But how do we know that the people who wrote the amendment and wrote the law that came before it meant subject to the jurisdiction thereof to mean something more than physical presence? Because they said so. Okay, number one, because they wrote that Civil Rights Act prior, and they used the phrase not subject to any foreign power. Then the same Congress in the same session passed the 14th Amendment. Did they do a 180 and say, actually, we meant the complete opposite? Or, as is explained in the dissents, did they consolidate some language that was relevant to Indian tribes and arrive on this language to capture more within it? But when I say what they said, okay, Senator Howard, who actually introduced the 14th Amendment in Congress, said, we're not even really going to debate what the citizenship clause that we're borrowing from the Civil Rights Act really means, because everyone knows the question of citizenship is so settled as not to need any further elucidation. What did he add to that? The citizenship clause would not, of course, include persons born in the United States who are foreigners, aliens, who belong to the families of ambassadors or foreign ministers. Then you got Trumbull. Again, this is the guy that Roberts is citing in his flowery bullshit end on his opinion. This is Senator Lyman Trumbull of Illinois at the time, who, again, author of the Citizenship Clause in the Civil Rights Act that preceded the 14th Amendment. What do we mean by subject to the jurisdiction of the United States? Not owing allegiance to anybody else. That is what it means. And Roberts is going to tell us scant evidence. We have to go back to infer things from English common law, even though the people, which I know is standard practice. All right. I'm not saying that is an irrelevant thing to do when you're trying to ascertain the meaning of the law. But when you're trying to understand the meaning of the law, when you have someone, the guy who wrote it saying, this is what it means, that's a pretty solid statement on the intent, I would think.
Well, man, that's why I was saying, if anybody out there wants to read the Federalist Papers and all of the logs of the debates during the constitutional conventions, every clause had voluminous there's no, he's talking about scant evidence. There is an embarrassment of riches when it comes to the people who were there writing and debating the laws, making sure that there is no two ways about what was meant by every syllable that was chosen. Every syllable that was chosen, and every generation since then has done nothing but work tirelessly to bury original intent and bury any kind of context for what American law is based on. And it's just the way it is. It's just the way it is. And that's why it's so depressing sometimes, especially I feel like this is such a, psychologically planned thing going into Independence Day weekend, when American natives are just absolutely just battered by this onslaught. And what is this going to do? This is just going to make more pregnant foreigners come over here and shit a kid out. And that's it. Here's your social security number. And then let the chain migration begin. Mom, Dad, we can't send you home, can we? We can't send mom and dad home when their newborn baby boy is now an American citizen. That would be cruel and unusual. In fact, let's go get the abuelas to come back. It's so outside of anything that is commonsensical. But there's a subset of the population. I don't know how large it is, but they are definitely loud, squeaky, and insane, who know This flies in the face of anything that is decent and commonsensical. But they are playing mainly a racial game. This is a battle of civilizations, and this overwhelming of America and this changing of America by force is part of what they have been taught by the same kind of Marxists that are running our country, is a form of some final form of penance that white Europeans are now paying for. What I would say is just making the world a better place. And that's it. There's nobody out there who's being honest with themselves, knows that this would be a good thing for a host nation to have hanging over them as their official policy for dealing with pregnant foreigners and squatters. That would be is insane proposition right there. But at the same time, if you stand to make away with it, if this is advantageous to you, the foreigner and nobody else, you're going to take it. You're going to laugh at us. You're going to taunt us. And that's what this is. It's a giant taunt. And John Roberts and his stupid fucking mole should be sent to the Arctic, along with Amy Coney Barrett and all their sent to the Arctic. That's what I want them to populate the Arctic. I want them to be the first illegal immigrants in the Arctic Circle. That's what I want. I want them to be there.
At least their children will have Arctic citizenship. I don't know. I guess they're too old to have kids themselves, but whatever. Frank, before I let you go, because we're near the bottom of the hour, as I said, it's a very pessimistic case. I think it's legally wrong and hugely consequential for the country, and I would encourage people who are interested in it, read Alito's opinion. Thomas's opinion is like 80 years long, and I actually agree with it, but man, he goes into all the detail. Alito is a little more concise with, I think, the relevant understanding of the amendment, of its history, and with concern for the consequences. And I know that the Supreme Court is not supposed to be concerned with the consequences, but the fact of the matter is this one will be consequential until it is undone, and hopefully one day it will be. But I don't want to enter the 4th of July holiday, particularly the 250th birthday weekend, with pessimism. And I'm not going to be discouraged by this crap Supreme Court decision. It does suck to have this codified, or to have this formalized as a Supreme Court precedent now, but it is kind of the status quo we've been operating with for a long time, wrongly. But Frank, before I let you go, I want some party spirit for the weekend. I want some rah American patriotism. Can you fire me up?
Can I?
Yeah. Well, I guess I shouldn't lead you to. How are you feeling going into this 4th of July? I'm
always keeping in mind, and we were just talking about this on my show, how no matter how beat up we get, there are certain things that we are predisposed to. And I think that Western civilization is predisposed to greatness. It is manifest destiny. And if you think about the resources that has been marshaled so far to try to tear the civilization apart and to turn our brains into scrambled eggs, you think about everything that has been spent to try to make things worse for us. The second that they take their foot off the gas, nature starts correcting itself again. And that the spirit of everything that created what we have around us is still very, very much alive. It might be dormant, but you can never extinguish that spirit. And I think that no matter what, as long as we continue doing the little things, and that is building really nice relationships across vast distances, that through stories, the shows like this, getting together, going outside, seeking peace outside in the real world, not having your mindset and your heart dictated or managed in any way by the absolute shit show, the puppet show that is the internet, that is X, that is 4chan, that's everything else. There are people making good arguments for very controversial and very timely matters, but there is also a lot there that is dragging people down dark roads, a broad stroking for one thing or another. We need a united humanity, and we also need to be able to keep ourselves chilled out. It's very, very hard not to get emotional about this stuff, but everything that we've ever needed to be great, oh man, do we got a leg up right now, man. We still have all the advantages in the world. We really do. And I think that the fact that we're finding our good humor and we're finding our ability to really mock people again and to do it constructively, I think that we have a lot going for us. No matter what kind of curveballs are coming our way, we've already found our tribe, and that is a powerful one. We built the world, man. We built the world. I love all these people who just like that love to browbeat us about things like slavery or anything else, and they're all from a very specific political side of the road. And I always wonder, for example, like with slave trades and all that stuff, I was told that slaves built America. It wasn't ingenuity. It wasn't anything. It wasn't old world thought or anything like that. I wonder why the rest of the world doesn't look like America then. I wonder why. I wonder why there's still a third and developing world here in 2026. Why is it still developing? I don't get it. Just remember where we come from, what stock we come from. And if we keep in making investments in that, it's just going to be good. And read your history. Man, oh man, divine intervention all over the place. We've got incredible American heroes, men, women, white, black. It doesn't matter what the hell it is. We've got incredible national heroes that need to be known. We need to be known. Not everybody in history is Adolf Hitler. There's so many other people in history. Okay, just please read, keep your heart light and happy, and that's all I got to say. And also read into, if you want something nice and funny, read into Jam Boys. You ever hear about a Jam Boy?
No.
I sent you a link before. I thought it really apparently it's like mythological at this point. I don't know if it's for real, but I just thought it was so funny. I wanted to give it to you because I think it has the ability to create some sort of an inside joke with your audience. I can see you guys really taking to this meme of the Indian Jam Boy.
Okay.
It's an English colonial meme. I want you to check it out at some point. Okay.
I'll do it when the show's over tonight. But well said, my friend. I am not going to allow dissatisfaction with current government officials to obscure or cloud my appreciation for the principles, the eternal truths that built this country, and the people who built this country, and everything they have built for my family and your family. I'll be damned if I get through this weekend without complete and total enthusiasm for the truth and the achievement that all of that is. And I appreciate you helping me remember what's important going into this very important weekend.
Hell yeah, man. You got a growing army of children out there.
They got me sick again. They're all diseased.
What the hell's wrong with everybody? I'm trying to stay. Yeah, I want to stay. I don't know. I got two. See, now that's the whole thing. When you got one child, you can manage things a little bit easier. But now we're getting into the one gives it to the other kind of we'll see what the hell happens. I just want this to be an easy breezy winter. But thank you for everything, my good man. I hope you have a wonderful rest of your night. And is that all I wanted to tell you? Oh yeah, I'll send you some text messages on 4th of July when I start lighting off all my explosives and stuff.
Good.
I'll see
whatever they allow in New York. I don't even know.
Oh, they don't allow anything, but it has to happen because we're Americans. Okay.
All right. Appreciate it, man. Have a great night and a happy 4th of July, and God bless your family.
God bless. Be well.
There he goes. Quite Frankly.tv is where you find all things Quite Frankly. Plenty more show to go, including soon Joshy Boy's big announcement. Speaking of, I got to go get Joshy Boy and Batman. I will be right back on the other side of a break.
Hey, if you enjoy the show,
whoops, wrong
please
promo.
Most of us use too many different apps just to stay organized. Tasks in one place, notes in another, habits somewhere else, and calendars everywhere. That frustration led listener and chatter of this show, Tortuga, to build Elysium. Elysium is an all-in-one productivity platform that brings goals, tasks, habits, events, reminders, notes, and project management all together in a single system. Core features are free for individuals with a local-first philosophy and human-readable files you control and can sync yourself. Optional cloud features add collaboration, shared workspaces, syncing, and team tools. Recent additions include customer and project intake forms that let clients submit work directly into your calendar. smart scheduling preferences for automatic task placement, Sidewinder, a dedicated sidebar notes companion app, and optional AI support, including local AI that can work directly with your schedule files or connections to services like Claude or ChatGPT. Elysium is available now on Apple devices with Windows, Linux, and Android versions coming soon. Beta testers are currently being accepted with a limited number of spots available. Learn more at elysium.is. It is absolutely free to get started with Elysium, and you can use promo code MCListener for 10% off advanced features for life. That's promo code MCListener at elysium.is. And by the way, our friends at Hero Soap Company have a special bundle just for America's upcoming 250th birthday. 3 exclusive new scents in one patriotic bundle: Freedom Pop, Stars and Stripes, and Liberty Spice. Pick up the America 250 bundle from Hero Soap to enhance your own shower or make a great gift for someone who loves America in your life. Yes, you do get 10% off with promo code MCListener on the Hero Soap America 250 bundle as well.
Stand back and stand by.
All right, joining us for the rest of the show, we have our favorite Nougat from Nougat. Joshy Boy is here.
You'll have to forgive me. My voice is a little out right now.
You sound like Michael Jackson. Very soft.
Yeah,
right.
I don't know what happened. I was fine Saturday, and then Sunday I woke up and it feels like I'm on CRPD right now.
Well, we will make do because my voice is failing me too. And he's not the hero Gotham needs. Batman is here.
A lot more like Michael Jackson now.
Welcome back. Okay, now Batman, it's cropping your camera all strangely. Now we got like bars on this. I don't know what's going on. I guess it's not that big of a deal, but we were doing some tech testing before the show. You know, as always, there's duct tape all over
the place.
My computer is deciding to shit itself for the first time in 10 years. So
let's just leave it for now, and we'll solve it. Yeah. We'll solve it later. All right. I have talked about this throughout the show so far. So we'll get into some more news items. If you guys have thoughts on the birthright citizenship thing and America 250, we can talk that. But I don't think I should delay the news any further because Joshy Boy has a special announcement for us all. Now, I know what it is, but I'm the only one who knows what it is. I've kept it a secret for a little while now. So drum roll, please. Joshy Boy, you have the floor.
All right. Well, contrary to belief, I am indeed gay. No, I'm just kidding. That's not the real news.
That's not news.
But
could have fooled me, asshole.
But to kind of just put it briefly, because my voice is really struggling, I am going to be taking a step back from the show for a little bit. I want to be able to focus on my catechesis under the Orthodox Church. And I'm wanting to get baptized as an Orthodox Christian either before or after my 32nd birthday. And I know that's a little ambitious, but I do want to become an Ortho Bro at some point, as much to the cry of many Protestants in our audience here. And another thing is that it's not just the fact that I want to focus on my catechesis, it also deals with where my interests now lie. I've kind of lost interest in a lot of modern politics. I know I can't really escape politics because, politics is interested in you. But I don't want to be the type of person to half-ass something that I'm not really interested in because it's not good for the show. But I will try to gain some further interest in politics in some form, mainly why I should harp on about monarchy rather than the republic, right? Especially given the 14th Amendment. But that's kind of where I'm at right now. I don't plan to be gone permanently. For those of you who are in the MC club, by the way, you should definitely join it. It definitely gets real heated from time to time, but I will still call you a faggot each morning.
That's one of the biggest selling points of the club. So I appreciate that you're willing to stick around and do that.
Yeah, I will call you a faggot each morning without fail. If I somehow do not do that, I've either forgotten or I'm dead. So
Well, yeah, if it's not,
Dude,
that's
you
true.
do that every day, halfway through my work shift.
You're
Yeah.
working. What time are you working? Doesn't he doing that like crazy early East Coast time?
I am very early.
Wow, you must
Yeah.
be really
Oh, man.
early. Yeah.
That's real early.
But I don't think
get
Joshy Boy has missed a day in months.
so far no.
It's been a while.
One Discord I'm a part of, I've been saying "Good morning, lads" for 5 years straight, and I've
Never
only
missed a day?
I've only missed a couple of days. One, I forgot, and two, I just took a day not to, just to see what would happen. And people immediately noticed, and it's like, "Hey, where's he at?" But that's the big announcement. Somebody in the chat asked if I was getting another cat. That
did what?
is another cat.
No, but what did he do?
Somebody asked if I was getting
Oh.
another cat, right?
I thought you were working on that. I thought, all right. That was a
No.
hard X. Anyway.
What? Did I say it?
Yeah, twice. All right. Anyway,
So wait, is this going to be the last show that you and I have together for a while?
for the indefinite
Yes.
future, yeah, he
For the
won't be.
indefinite future,
yeah.
yes.
Maybe he'll call in or email or participate in some ways. Or, you know,
Yeah.
the door is open. So, you know, you just say the word. But first of all, let me just say I completely respect that. And I appreciate that you're willing to tell me that because
Mhm.
you know, if your heart's not in it, yeah, it's not the right spot for now. That doesn't mean forever. And I appreciate that you're honest with me about that. Number two, I really appreciate you helping for just being a part of this community for as long as you have been.
Mhm.
But helping me navigate some tough times over the last year and a half or so. Really appreciate
Oh, yeah.
that. Thank you for that. Appreciate your help in the Discord server. Appreciate you always operating in good faith because I know you take a lot of that heat in that Discord server, man. Sometimes,
I
like,
do.
it's like I've been a part of like 2 or 3-on-1 debates with you in the Discord
Yes.
server, so I know that you're a good sport about that. And you're always welcome around here whenever you like. You just say the word. I have to
Yeah.
confess, I should have made you a proper montage.
Aw.
I will remember you. I just didn't have time to make the montage.
Yeah.
But I do have a surprise that I think is even better for you if you would
Yeah.
like to see it. Are you ready for this?
Yeah,
I know you know there is a surprise.
Yeah, but real quick, I mean, if for whatever reason another co-host can't make it or there's some tech issues, I'm willing to step in until they get it fixed. But
You mean I can axe you anytime?
you can ask.
You
me
stole
anytime.
my goddamn joke.
Sorry. Appreciate that.
But yes,
No,
you can
you've
ask-
done that too, by the way. Things I appreciate as well. I know that you've done some spot duty. In fact, at least once, I think on like 1 minute notice, you did a whole show
Yeah,
one time.
it's because
So-
I always make time for the stream, whether it's on Wednesday or Sunday. So I am on standby in that point. It's happened at least twice. So I don't know. I would have my laptop near me in case something happens.
Appreciate that. But
Yeah.
God willing, you're going to end up on a farm where there's no internet signal anyway. So
With a white country girl.
well, I have maybe not.
So he's going to be destroying the white race himself, one woman at a time.
Hell
He's
yeah,
going to
man, I'm
make
finna
white
slay that
people pick
pussy.
the cotton on his farm, dude. That's how this is going to work. He's going to whip them.
Mhm.
Okay. Now I have this surprise, and I'm really eager to get to this because I think this is really great. So, and this parting gift is actually not from me. It's from Kevin L. And Kevin L is a listener who is very good with the AI stuff. If you remember, he made the LaDonna Rice and Rage music video a few weeks or month or so back. So actually completely unrelated, because Kevin did not know that you planned on taking a break from the show. Kevin was working on an AI Joshy Boy video before the news of this was out there, but he didn't have any knowledge when he made it. It's just perfect timing on the part of Kevin L. Now, there is a little bit of context to understand this particular submission from Kevin. Have you guys heard of the sword-wielding squatter removal service in the Bay Area of California? Is this...
Yes, I have.
Briefly, I have.
Okay. So if people have it, because I had not seen this until Kevin sent this to me. So here's a quick 1-minute news story on the Samurai Sword squatter removal service in San Francisco.
It sounds like an intense way to remove a squatter. Go in with a samurai sword and scare the squatters out. But the CEO of the company offering this service says it's more complicated than that.
Diagonals to the side.
James Jacobs has been trained in martial arts for 15 years, showing me what's called a trainer blade. It would be illegal to have a real blade in public, but Jacobs started his company, ASAP Squatter Removal, to use real swords to clear squatters from properties.
Breaching is breaking into the property, and then clearing is actively going through the rooms and making sure there's no active threat.
According to Jacobs, lease agreements are signed between him and the property owners to allow his team to go in and remove squatters. And it's not just samurai swords used.
AR-15s, we have M590, shotguns.
He's been in the work of removing squatters for 7 years and says it's a completely legal process.
I have a $1 million insurance policy. I have an in-house attorney. Heck, people make wrongful claims against my business all the time just to try and get money.
The cost of removing a squatter from your property using ASAP Squatter Removal starts at $10,000.
This is the way.
$10,000? Holy shit.
Okay, so first of all, this guy is not military. He's like, oh, I've got these whatever. Yeah, no, he has no idea what he's fucking talking about.
It's Mossberg's, but that's not the M. Yeah.
Well, I mean, I don't even know where to start, dude.
Now your mic's going haywire. Now your mic's going like way hot. Is that auto adjusting? We might have to check on that.
I have all that stuff turned off.
Okay.
I know I did because we just did that.
It just sounded like it went way up. All right. Yeah,
no,
I guess
I think I spit into it.
Oh, okay.
My bad.
All right.
Got a hot Tua spit on that thing.
I forgot about Hawk to a girl. Yeah. What? I mean, I know that she basically
and also yuck.
She fleeced the internet with crypto and then bailed, right? That's what happened.
Yeah, pretty much.
Yeah, pretty much. She also got into some trouble. So,
well, by the way, on 10 grand, that's the starter package, which had me wondering, what do I get with the more premium packages? Do you deliver the guy's head in a box to me? What are the higher end services that are available for more money?
If you want to do some real justice, I will probably charge like maybe $500, and you will get a lot of business.
Well, maybe you can move to California if the farming thing doesn't work out, and you can compete with this guy. I can't believe this is California legal, but apparently it is. That's a separate discussion. Compliant. Anyway,
so Skulldugger is saying to me, "You mean those aren't standard issue jeans and a leather trench coat?" and I mean, yeah, obviously they're
bingo.
You know what I mean? But
all right.
It was clear to me from his language that he was like, he has no idea what he's talking about.
Well, all of this is just context to Joshy Boy's AI presentation from Kevin L. So Kevin L imagined what Joshy Boy would be like if he was such a samurai eviction artist, if he in fact moved to California to compete with this guy. And he presented this as an anime show. So because it is, I don't know if the Japanese is legit or not, but because it is ostensibly in Japanese, I will have to read the subtitles for people listening on audio.
I actually do know some Japanese, so I could tell you.
Maybe you can, if you can tell me if it's legit when you hear it, let me know. I turned it down, but anyway, I give you the property enforcer. Haha, that stupid Asian lady. She thinks we're going to move out because she asks. Please, sir, I need the money. My family relies on it. Her granddaughter, though, I'd give her my deposit. Good morning, faggots. It seems you have entered my apartment. What? Your apartment? Signed a lease this morning with Mrs. Lee. She's a kind and generous widow. She gave me excellent terms. Now, seeing as how you gentlemen are trespassing in my domicile, I'm going to have to ask you to leave. Can you not count, boy? There are two of us and one of you. You gonna call the cops? They let us stay here in this state. I think it's you who needs to leave, boy. Out of the depths I cry to you, O Lord. Lord, hear my voice. Let justice be done and let the wicked be overthrown. Vindicate the oppressed and uphold the widow and orphan. What did you say? I said I need you boys to leave my apartment. Your mom is coming over for dinner tomorrow. And I need to make sure the place is clean. Why, you little... And I had to blur this because it's actually a little too graphic for YouTube, potentially.
Why do you have a long sword?
Bro, because that's my favorite sword.
Fair enough.
Man, why is it always the giant big ones who needs his dead-ass body dragged down? All right. Thank you so much for helping my grandmother. We've been struggling to... Don't mention it. And my fee is waived for this one. You and your grandmother have been through a lot. Wow, he's so generous. And strong. And he smells like where the forest meets the peaks. Great soap selection. I was... Well... Would you maybe want to get coffee sometime? I'm sorry, Miss Lee. You are beautiful, and I'm sure you'd make the fairest of farm maidens. But you're Presbyterian. Okay. Round of applause for Kevin L. and the property enforcer. I think that's a better send-off than a stupid...
That was...
I will remember you, montage.
All right, Kevin L., you've outdone yourself. That's fucking great, dude.
Now, would you actually refuse to date an otherwise perfect Presbyterian?
If she's willing to convert, then maybe. If she says, well, I prefer to stay Presbyterian, then bye, Felicia.
Okay. All right. So there are conditions. He is a man of God.
I love how I said the prayer before I just executed somebody.
But to Joshy Boy.
We love you. You're very special.
To Kevin L.
We love you. You're very special.
If you'd like to watch the pilot episode of Property Enforcer with Joshy Boy, you can find the link in the description. It's not there yet. I will put it in the description after the show is finished up. I didn't want anybody to see it ahead of time. And I'm going to drop it in the AI music folder that's always linked in the description as well, even though it's not really music, but I'm still going to include it there as part of listener AI creations.
And so to be clear, that was legit Japanese. But really? I don't know if it was, but I don't know if every word synced up because you kept on talking over it.
Yeah, you could go and listen though. And I'll link it. You can check it out and see how legit the Japanese actually is. If anybody speaks Japanese and they want to tell me, I'd be curious. And I don't know, maybe Kevin L does. Maybe he has knowledge in that area. But anyway, there's one other thing I wanted to talk about, which is an announcement from outgoing UK Prime Minister Keir Starmer. But before I get into that, did you guys have anything you wanted to discuss about the birthright citizenship decision or America 250 this weekend?
I actually may have a little bit of a difficult opinion on the birthright citizenship thing. But I'll let Joshy go first.
First?
First. I don't know why I said it that way.
I got to ask you how to say that again. All right.
First.
All right. So I'm going to start with the America 250. My hometown of Nuga, right?
Yeah.
We do a pre-Independence Day celebration on the 3rd, where down there, if you guys have ever been down to Coolidge Park, there's a big celebration. Everybody bust out their American colors and whatnot, go down to that park, and there's like live music, food, festivities and stuff. And then I think somewhere around 9 or 10 o'clock, we shoot a whole bunch of fireworks. And then that's it for that day. And everybody
So you're all about it. You're not, despite your emerging political apathy or maybe discouragement, you're still all about the rah-rah 4th of July America 250, yeah?
Well, I was gonna try to carry with me a British flag, but...
Bring back the redcoats. The redcoats were right. Yeah.
And then I was like, I'm gonna scare my mom by showing her that I'm gonna take a Confederate flag with me in full Confederate garb.
Oh, you're
But
going to go
no,
that route. Okay. I got,
no,
if
but
you need persuasion against the redcoats, I got something for you in a minute, but
oh, UK is fucked. I've already abandoned them. But yeah, I still have some American spirit in me, despite my pessimism, or in this case, downright discouragement.
Bigotry.
Bigotry.
You heard me.
Well, no.
Go on.
On the 14th Amendment, I don't have much to say because Frank pretty much said it. Any fucker who's pregnant can just come here and shit out a baby at this point. I mean,
got to stop pregnant fuckers from coming to the border. That's the only way to solve it for now. Militarized border. None of you are getting through.
Yeah,
One must actually be a fucker in order to be pregnant.
Yeah.
Not anymore, actually. Science has removed that requirement.
Stop.
Actually, your mic is coming in hot on me now. You want to drop it just a touch? I don't know what's going on. I swear we did actually fix this before live, but you know how tech is. Batman's computer is apparently even worse than my computer that I eventually got rid of.
Don't say that.
Dude, this is the new cursed computer. But
it has served me very well for over a decade at this point.
Well, it seems like
it's been like a decade.
Good service has an expiration date, perhaps, unfortunately.
Maybe.
Yeah.
All right, how's it sounding now?
Yeah, that's about right. There you go.
All right.
Okay. You guys want to talk? There's one thing I have. Well, before I move on, anything else you want to say about America 250? You mentioned you have a difficult opinion on birthright citizenship. Do you think the decision was correct? Is that where you're going?
No.
Oh.
No, of course not.
What's the difficult opinion?
But I do think that this actually benefits us in the long run.
What?
This decision. I do.
Okay.
Go ahead.
Because just like Roe v. Wade, it's going to be overturned. And I think it will happen within our lifetimes. What if it takes 50 years
and there's like 1 million illegals who take over the country before then?
I don't think that's what's going to happen because of the way that we've been deporting people and we've been securing our borders and we've been making sure that people aren't just coming in here and having babies. Now, I'm aware of those Chinese companies.
Yeah.
Yes, I'm aware of this. I'm aware of those Chinese companies who are sort of foisting pregnant mothers in order to gain not Chinese citizenship, U.S. citizenship, but we're aware of them now, which means we can target them. We weren't aware of them. I mean, how long ago? Right.
Well, the DOJ just announced the discovery of these, I think, is a relatively recent thing, however long they've been ongoing. I know Peter Schweitzer and others have been talking about this, but the DOJ announced today that they're going to start finding ways to prosecute these Chinese birth tourism companies. Because, yeah, if people aren't aware, go back and watch my Peter Schweitzer interview from a couple months ago. You have Chinese billionaires using surrogacy, IVF, all these Frankenstein methods of impregnating American women. They have mansions in Southern California that are just houses for the babies of Chinese billionaires. They're farming U.S. citizens they can use for whatever purposes they may have in the future. This is an entire business operation in Southern California. So the DOJ is now trying to find criminal angles against them. We'll see where that goes.
Right. And the idea basically is we are currently aware as a population of the threats that are coming in and of the fact that our system is being abused. And I think we are going to do something about that. I don't think we're going to just sit down and
I hope. I mean, immediately Congress could take action in the way that Kavanaugh described. Section 5 of the 14th Amendment says Congress has the authority to enforce the provisions of this amendment. Hey, Congress, why don't you just take Trump's executive order and pass it? And I know that's going to run into its own wall potentially because that'll get appealed to the Supreme Court and presumably this same Supreme Court 5-4 because Kavanaugh would say it's fine. I assume they would strike it down again. But the point is, you take every shot you have at undoing this because this is the sort of thing that will destroy your country if it is not undone. And I'll take your point that either people are going to realize that or the country is going to be destroyed. And I would like to believe that we're not just going to lay down and allow that to happen, but we'll see.
Right. And also these companies can only do so much. Really, the key variable was the millions of people that were being let in at any given time. Now we're deporting people. Now there's a negative outflow. So
I saw that. It's the first time in a long time we have more leaving than coming.
Yeah.
Really quick, we're at the top of the hour.
Sorry. So I think that this Supreme Court decision is bad, but it is not the end of the world. Not at all.
Thank you for finding the white pill wrapped inside the black pill. I appreciate that. All right. I did want to mention this because I found it hilarious. So thankfully Pride Month is over. I don't have to talk about dicks and butts anymore, although I'm sure we'll find ways. But before the outgoing prime minister in the UK leaves, he is committing himself to the quest of making the UK even gayer, or at least honoring how gay it is. So Prime Minister Keir Starmer, he's now resigned. He will leave power after a Labour Party leadership election to replace him sometime soon. Before he's gone, he posted a video on his Instagram yesterday, apparently speaking to some sort of Pride Month audience, but he's bragging that the UK Parliament is the gayest parliament in the world.
Really proud that we've got the gayest parliament. I don't think just of all time anywhere in the world. I don't think there's any parliament that is gayer than this parliament.
He's absolutely right.
You see, I thought this was
No, it was legit. Do you want me to play it again? It's real.
Yeah.
It was posted on his Instagram.
Really proud that we've got the gayest parliament. I don't think just of all time anywhere in the world. I don't think there's any parliament that is gayer than this parliament.
Yeah, it was on his Instagram.
I thought he was insulting these people.
No, it's the gayest. And I thought, what does he mean? Does he mean like the most pro-gay in its policies and legislation, or does he mean like the most gay people in it? I think he means the most gay people in it. So my AI request said there are 64 openly gay members of parliament in the UK. It's 10% of the total membership. And I thought, well, okay, like what about Canada though? Canada's pretty gay, right? Not even close. Canada has only 8 gay members out of like 343 in their parliament. So that's not very gay at all. It's only like 2%. Australia, I thought might be, come on, they got to be competitively gay. No, 8 gay members there too. Out of 226, it's only 4%. I looked at Germany, France, elsewhere, places you'd think would be gay. I think Starmer is right. It is the gayest parliament on the globe. They set the record for homos. London and Great Britain, they used to be the center of this worldwide empire. And now they're just the gayest government in the world, not based on people laughing at them for that, based on their own bragging. So, heading into America 250, celebrate America. I know we have our problems, but the Redcoats are bragging about how gay they are this weekend. So our country, I think, still has some victories over them to celebrate. Yeah.
We got away. I think I may have this figured out now. So if you get gay enough, if you're gay, it happens. But when you start going to the point where you're gay beyond belief, you start going to trannies, right?
I guess. I still don't really understand the link between the two, but
now trannies kill themselves all the time. So what they want to do is let Muslims in who will kill them so they don't have to.
Okay. It's
so
a less
this is why
form of suicide.
we see England the way it is.
All right.
Well, many English monarchs
it's
spinning in their
not
graves.
suicide by cop. It's suicide by muzzy faggot.
Islamic invasion. Yeah. All right.
This is what happens when you abandon Christendom, right? Even if it was Anglican or Catholic.
What about Presbyterian?
They don't count. As you know, I'm not super
Buddy, get your butt out of
into the whole Christianity thing yet. I'm still sort of exploring, but
you told me you converted.
He's Christian curious.
Okay, fine. So you're inquiring.
Yeah.
Putting it like that just really rubs me the wrong way.
No, I get it.
Anyway,
I was there. I was Christian curious a few years ago.
I know. I've actually been going to churches.
Wow. Okay, so you're shopping and considering. Good.
I'm considering. Yeah. But
there's an Orthodox church
having said
near
that,
you.
this guy here, what was it that you just said?
Me?
What Joshy said?
No, the other asshole who's right above me.
Well, I don't know if that's like I'm making a point or if you're literally Brady Bunch pointing at him. What he said they abandoned Christendom?
Yes.
I saw he's on my screen. He's right above me. He's
Okay,
right here.
I see. And you're below me. Yeah, basically. So what we will say that you're inquiring in Christianity, right? Just like when I was Protestant, I inquired into Orthodoxy.
I'm at a point where I think I'm pretty convinced that God exists. I don't know what kind of worship is appropriate. Does that make sense?
Well, somebody like me would tell you to go to a divine liturgy, and you would know.
Well, somebody like you is not the kind of person that I would listen to. So here we are.
What the? I've never seen a more accomplished swordsman in my life. He deserves more respect than that. Anyway, no, I'm glad to hear it, man. That's great, and that's hey, that's exactly where I was. I can see that there is a moral order to the world. I'm sure there's someone behind that or some author behind that.
Yes, and that's exactly where I am.
Yeah, you're like a hop, skip, and a jump away from accepting Jesus Christ, and
becoming as much of a faggot as Joshy. Yeah,
I say that as I've said it to you throughout your similar journey to mine. When I say that, sometimes people can interpret that like in a condescending way. I don't mean it, and I know you don't, but for people listening to this, I don't mean it that way at all. To the extent I believe it's true, and I do, the truth has a habit of revealing itself, and you are asking the right questions, and that's why I think the truth is coming to you, man, and I'm very happy for you and your family.
And if you start off with going to one of the gay little churches, I'll accept that.
Even Presbyterian is all right. It's better than nothing, I guess.
This coming from you.
Yes,
okay, we got to get to our callers. All right. Before we do, have you considered joining the MC Club?
Oh, let me join the Discord.
Well, you should. Yeah, get in the Discord.
Well,
you should. So Joshy Boy can say good morning, faggot, to you every morning, and other reasons. Here are those other reasons. Hey, if you enjoy the show, please consider supporting the show by becoming a member of the MC Club. For as little as $1 a month, you will enjoy a series of exclusive perks, including ad-free videos and podcasts, video calls, and a community Discord server with me and other listeners, loot box giveaways with channel merchandise, your name in the credit roll after videos and streams, and much more. But most importantly, you will help keep the Duct Tape production alive and independent from all those sinister forces of control. Join the MC Club at mattchristiansenmedia.com/support. Linked in the description. Okay.
So to be clear, Joshy, I'm just giving you shit. You know that I don't dislike you for any reason, right?
No, we give each other shit all the time. That's what
I only dislike you for saying X. That's all. Other than that, you're great.
Look, I promise.
Yo, I'm an X you your problem, man.
Mm-hmm.
All right, Egrin is up first. Egrin, are you there?
Yeah.
What do you got for us, sir?
Well, given the fact that they finally held up
I gotta turn it down,
birthrates.
Sorry, your mic's just coming in hot, but I got you.
Yeah. Since they've held up the whole birthright citizenships, I would say a lot of people majority of people aren't gonna care or not gonna really spend times calling their representatives to call Congress to like, hey, let's like actually make a legislations and change this law, like outright change the law. No one is I know that on the Democrat side they're going to make headways to make that cauterize right away, but I would say our end, our side aren't gonna like canvas around state to state to actually make any changes on that.
I don't know. Democrats, as far as they're concerned, they already have it accomplished. This is now Supreme Court precedent. There's nothing more they can do to strengthen it from their perspective. For Republicans or conservatives or people who oppose this birthright citizenship concept, I I think it's going to be pretty motivating. Immigration has been hugely motivating for conservative voters for years now. And I think this is one where if you don't take care of this, your entire country is at stake. So, I certainly agree that, do you see like conservatives marching in the streets all the time? Outside of the March for Life and like the remnants of the Tea Party, not often. But I do think this is going to be very important for voters and for some level of political activism.
Yes and no. Like, I would say our side is going to be a bit more cordial about this. That's what makes the difference on us. We're more cordial. It's like, hey, we would like to change these laws, but their side, they're willing to, throw down riots, pay people, probably felons, to basically do more rioting and just basically to bite the bullets.
We have to buy out their rioters. We got to give them 50 cents more an hour, and we have to deploy them for our purposes. All right? That's the only way.
Because the best way to really examine all this is we've never really left the Civil War. Technically, we've been still fighting it all the way since this July. Like, as much as, like, thankfully, it's been 250 years, but has any of us really read the extra 2,000 pages worth of the Constitution? No, none of us have. I haven't. I'm sure none of you have.
Wait, the extra what?
I actually have read all of it, but if I told you I remembered it, that's going to be
the document itself is pretty brief.
The document itself, but there's 2,000 pages worth more of documentations.
Are you talking about well, not the Constitution itself.
There's the amendments, and then there's like the Federalist Papers.
There's Federalist Papers, there's Supreme Court case law, but the document itself is very brief.
Yeah.
There's more to it, but other than that, hopefully people can enjoy this summer and actually create something that's worth to last the centuries. Going forward.
And we should all absolutely enjoy the 4th, and we should all be focused, I think, for the next little bit on appreciating the fact that there are 250 years of the best country on this planet, and it's not even by a little bit.
Yes. But we also got to remind ourselves what has changed, and to really do a lot of self-examining on who we are as far as where we go from there. I
don't necessarily disagree with you. I don't disagree with you, but this is the time where we appreciate what we have. Right?
Totally agree with you on that. I do. But we also got to make sure people have that self-reflection. Otherwise, for instance, a good example, and my final word on this, does the person that made the national anthem, he basically saw the battles, many battles, bloody battles, basically hundreds of people dead, and he still saw that flag still there, right there at the very end. And
that was a battle during the War of 1812. Yeah.
Yep. And that is something that not many people kind of examine on the national anthem.
Appreciate your thoughts, Egan.
People don't realize that the rocket's red glare and all that stuff, that was all stuff that he saw. That was all stuff that he saw this happening and he was writing it down.
Yeah.
Thank you, Egret. Happy 4th, and God bless you.
I do have some quick thoughts real quick.
Sure.
I said quick twice, but anyway, one, on the 4th of July and everything, I know that there's a time to reflect, but there's also a time just to celebrate, right? America's birthday is just a time to celebrate, to kind of just set aside our worries and all this other stuff and just have a great time with your friends and family and celebrate our country, right? There is a time to reflect, just not Saturday, because fuck you, I'm shooting fireworks, right?
Yeah,
exactly.
Yeah.
But that's a fair
in
point
fact,
too.
I think the celebration of our country should not be a single day. I think it should be more than that.
I think it's something we should all be conscious of and think about every day. To Egren's point, there is a large part of patriotism that is scrutinizing your government, of course, and evaluating how well our government aligns with the principles and ideals outlined in the Declaration and the original
and not
founding
just our
and the framing of
our
people.
government,
yeah.
our people and our lifestyles.
Yeah. But the other side of it
right.
is the hot dogs and the fireworks and the drinking one too many beers and the wearing of the jackassy and
Right.
red, white, and blue
And
clothing,
this
which is what
the
Saturday
week to do all of the stupid bullshit that doesn't involve introspection and all that other jazz.
Yeah, we have the rest of the year for that. The last thought
exactly.
that I'll have is that the caller does have a point. Ingrid, what was the name?
Egrin.
Egrin.
We've spoken to him before.
Yes, I know. I have a hard time pronouncing stuff. Apparently, I can't even say ask right.
But you did it.
I had to put emphasis on the K though.
Yeah,
but he is right that a vast
There's
majority
a G in it, not a K. Whatever.
But there,
you do you, man.
Yeah, the vast majority of people. I wouldn't even say the conservatives either. A lot of liberals will say they care about this, but a lot of people just actually don't care what this ruling is. Most people throughout much of their lives just want to get on with their lives, right? They want their lives to be as easy as possible. Now, I know we got the lunatics screaming and raving and rioting and whatnot, but the average Joe is just like, is this going to make my life harder? Or they're more worried about the more immediate things like, how am I going to pay my rent? How are the groceries looking? What's the gas prices like?
Yeah, I mean, the birthright citizenship question is directly tied to that. Maybe it's not as immediate because all of those things are going to be as a consequence of giving citizenship to all of these kids. You're going to face those consequences in the future. Higher costs of living, a whole horde of people who don't necessarily have a connection to this country, don't necessarily have to assimilate, don't care about assimilating, don't necessarily believe in the values of this country. Those consequences are going to be most real for our children, if not us.
That's
and
true.
It does take foresight to care. And I think people are wise enough to have it, especially if you have kids. But I think you're right that is anything going to change tomorrow because of this Supreme Court decision? Probably not. I mean, we're already doing this crap already.
Yeah.
But if something doesn't change,
actually, it's more like we've already gone out of our way to make sure that much of what we would otherwise suffer from this decision has already been started to be at least taken care of.
Sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt you, Joshy. Did you have do you want to finish your thought, or you want to take the next caller?
We can take the next caller.
All right, Tom is up next. Tom, what do you got for us?
Hey, hopefully my voice will be okay. Won't break up too much.
Sounds good right now.
Okay, good. All right. Got distracted last week talking about New Jersey, so that was the question I wanted to ask this week is, did God create hell? If so, why? If not, where did it come from?
This is a theological question probably beyond my qualifications, but to the extent, and people who know the scriptural answer to this, because I bet there is one, are going to rip me. Are going to rip me for not having this off the top of my head. But God, as the creator and author of everything, yes, created hell. I believe would be the correct conclusion. Now, why? Why would God do that? Well, I assume as a place for people who have chosen to leave his way, chosen to leave his path. Wasn't hell actually created as the home for Lucifer, the fallen angel, and all that?
But it was intended for the rebels, Lucifer, the Watchers, all that other stuff. Go ahead and finish.
I'm at risk of saying things that are completely wrong. You're welcome. You're welcome to email me and tell me how crap my understanding is. It probably is. Well, but I think that is the general understanding that yes, this is a godly creation for a godly purpose. That purpose being a place for people who choose to walk away from God. And hell is often thought of as a place of damnation, and it is. But really, we all condemn ourselves by choosing to leave God ourselves, by choosing to deviate from his path. Hell is a choice that we all make in our own pursuits. It's not really one that God makes for us. We choose to deviate, and that's where we go by our own navigation by our own selection. At least is my understanding and my belief. But
I feel like this is wildly outside of my purview, so I'll just let y'all fight it out.
Well,
I'm
you
not
know,
gonna necessarily.
Go ahead,
I'm not.
Joshy.
Yeah, I'm not gonna necessarily fight it out. It depends on who you ask what hell is and who created it and whatnot. If you ask us, hell is basically it's not some separate dimension that you go to. Um, I'm gonna butcher this too, so which is why I try not to speak too much on it because this is something that my priest had to explain to me. But from what I've read and from what I've learned, God's love, he doesn't want people separated from him. So even if you reject Christ, right, on the judgment day, you won't necessarily be separated from him. You'll still be in his presence, but it'll be like a hellfire, right? Imagine you love somebody that is repulsed by you loving them, right? And it's like hell for them. Does that make sense?
Okay.
So I may be butchering a lot of stuff. Just don't take my word for it. But that's essentially what it is. You can even experience hell on earth, right? So imagine a drug addict putting himself through hell. It's basically a self-destructive thing that goes, imagine destroying your life, not just for like 20 years or something, but forever. You just get worse and worse and worse and worse, and there's no way out of it.
So I have a chat here, which I think is interesting philosophically speaking. I have no idea whether or not this has any biblical basis, but Procrustes the Clown says, hell is just a permanent separation from God, but after his ultimate victory over Satan in the final days, he will be thrown into a lake of fire. That's where we get the fiery hell idea from.
Well,
yeah, I mean, that's when we've discussed this in the Bible study, that's how it's been presented to me. Is it's the state is what matters more than the place, the state of separation from God. But I suppose to your question, Tom, the physical place is a creation of God to the extent that exists. I don't know. Tom, let me, do you have an answer to this question or your own considerations?
I don't have an answer. My only comment would be I did go through a course on Dante's Inferno.
Mm-hmm.
And
so you're talking about purgatory.
Yeah, and in there, the people in hell are there because they want to be there. And they're not trying to get out. The ones who are in purgatory are the ones who are working hard to try to achieve heaven, so that, okay, maybe I can go with that. That kind of makes sense. But again, I guess hell is a place you make for yourself, and you go there and you just populate it, and okay.
That's
I can
that's
almost
how
get on board with that.
That's how I've thought about it myself. Is that really the principle matters to me more than the place? That is to say, if you choose a path that is contrary to God, in whatever context you may think of that. It could be as simple as your decision to tell the truth or not in your day-to-day event, the events of your day-to-day today, or it could be your decision to murder someone in cold blood or something like that. However small or large your leaving of God's path for you ultimately your destination will be that. It will be suffering. It will be misfortune. It will be separation from God. It will be bad things. And maybe maybe the burning is metaphorical or maybe it's literal. I don't know. I do know that if you leave that path intentionally, you're going to suffer, and everybody who does inevitably suffers.
If you've seen Dante's Inferno or read it or had a course on it, they have some pretty inventive punishments in there, that people eating each other's brains and being stuck head first in a deep icy pit or something.
In the ice. That's what I was thinking too.
Yeah.
Well, thanks for the thought-provoking call, Tom. I'm going to let you go. We might have a few more thoughts on it, but thank you for calling.
Can I just give a final thought here?
Yeah, sure.
Okay. So the Democrats win the House and the Senate in
what
this
the?
year, 2026.
I don't want a black pill right now. All right,
Well,
go ahead.
okay. Just what's the over under that you think of how long it'll take them to impeach Trump if that
Oh,
happens?
they'll do it day 2. What did they
Yeah, I
sworn
was
in like
gonna say.
January 5th? They'll do it on the January 6th anniversary. They'll do another January 6th impeachment sequel, whatever. Impeachment 2.
They've been
January
trying to
6th
do that.
impeachment 2. Actually impeachment 3, but yeah.
They've been trying to do that now, even while they're not in power.
Yeah, it'll be their first priority. They'll sell people on all their healthcare for all bullshit and cost of living bullshit, and then they'll get in there and it'll be but Trump will be all they'll do for weeks and weeks. Guaranteed.
This person is terrible person.
Three
Look,
persons,
comrade.
The
Thanks,
guy
Tom.
who was trying to do the impeachment a few months ago. I don't know where he's from. India or something.
Oh, Sri Tanadar.
Was that Kana?
What do we call
No,
him?
no,
Something.
no.
Bipti Bieber. It's Sri Tanadar from Michigan. Is who you're
Oh,
talking about.
yes. Okay. Right.
Anyway,
Yeah, he'll
thank
be
you
leading the
guys.
charge.
I had an interesting conversation, and
Thank you, Tom.
Josh, I wish you the best.
Thanks, man.
Happy 4th, Tom. We'll speak
Thank you.
soon.
You too.
Don't worry. Once I'm well versed, I will be able to school you fools in theology.
All right.
No, I'm just kidding.
Golden Leaf is up
One
next.
of these days, no doubt.
Golden Leaf, are you there?
Yes, I am. How are you guys doing today?
What do you
What's
got?
up?
for
Hey,
us?
how we doing?
My voice is coming
Yeah.
back, so that's good.
It is actually.
Hey, there we go.
Mhm.
Yeah, I just got done with my work shift dealing with 100-degree sun, so that was fun.
Oh, brother.
Medicine stuff.
Lucky
It's a-
you.
It's a scorcher it's going to be this week, man. It's just
Oh,
hot
yeah,
as fuck.
Oh yeah, it's gonna be fun. I can definitely say that. So I want to get into something different. I mean, birthright citizenship, all that. Let's talk about gaming. Have you guys heard about what Sony decided to do?
Yes, I did.
No.
Fucking hell.
I'm out of the
I
loop.
briefly forgot, so just remind me.
So basically, what Sony
Yeah,
did was they decided they were going to completely discontinue the creation of any further physical copies of games.
Yeah, I've heard about that.
Oh,
yes.
really?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
They're
So
going all
you
the way
don't get any
digital now.
discs now. You don't get anything other than their digital service.
Yeah,
Which means,
yeah.
of course,
Well,
they have incredible power.
They can
over-
ban you. Yeah, I mean it's convenient, and I
Yeah.
love downloading a game. But when you don't have it and you don't own it, when they can just ban you and delete
Correct.
your
Yeah.
connection to that game. Yeah.
And not only that,
Well,
they have a tendency. Go ahead, man.
Also, Sony's under a little bit of hot water because they removed like 200 films from their Sony movie studios from PlayStation, and people have not gotten refunds. They're saying, no, we're not going
yeah.
to give you a refund.
Oh, so people bought
And
it
there's
like
that, and then they
they
also
just took
murdered
it?
Michael Jackson.
So wait,
I'm convinced.
I actually have never heard that theory. So let's
Okay.
set that aside and come back to that if you're serious, if that's a real thing.
Sure.
But you're saying that people bought, let's say you paid $20 to own a movie, which I've done
let's
on say
say-
Amazon Prime before, and they just deleted those from the library and you no longer have access.
So-
Is that what happened?
Oh,
So,
they do.
so Sony, they had a PlayStation movie theater that they had where you can buy and watch movies, and you can own those movies. Well, that's what you thought, but like say Terminator 2 or whatever. Well, over 200 movies due to licensing.
Oh, so
problems.
they lost
Mhm.
the copyright or IP, whatever. They
Yeah, the
there's some
license-
agreement that allows them to host it that they lost out on or refused.
Someone in the chat says 500 from what he heard.
Okay.
Oh, I thought it was 200 from last I saw, but I guess it was more.
Yeah, that would be
But,
DJ
yeah.
Zephyr.
And basically people woke up, maybe wanted to watch a movie that they had and say, sorry, that movie's no longer there, and no,
That's-
we're
yeah.
not giving you a refund because
Fuck you.
That's why you got to be careful about
Basically.
this. Yeah, digital
Yeah,
ownership
like-
stuff. If I love playing Call of Duty and I download Modern Warfare, whatever they're up to now, and which I probably would, but they don't like that I called someone a faggot in the chat and I get banned. Well, now they have the ability to sever my connection to the game itself. So I couldn't even play,
yeah,
single
Nintendo-
player if they wanted to delete my access to single player.
Nintendo's been doing that a lot. They've been breaking people's Switch 2 for
Actually,
flash defenses.
Actually, that's incorrect. Nintendo's been one of the best ones about this because
Really?
they continue to offer physical copies of the games that they make without
Yeah, but they've bricked
like-
a lot of people's Nintendo Switch for the slightest offense. So they can
Yeah, that's
offer the
true.
physical.
That's true.
Yeah, they can.
That's
I mean,
another issue, and I do agree. Like, yeah, that's a kind of a scummy thing, but we're also starting to see a shift with gaming companies where you don't own the game, you just agree to basically rent it out. So
yeah, you have a license.
Yeah, you have a single payment rental. Yeah.
Yeah, single payment
and
rental.
for however long, and we can decide at any time on our whim, sorry, that game, you can no longer have this game, or if this game was online only, we're just gonna cut it.
Yeah. Are you familiar with Stop Killing Games?
Yes, that's why I've been paying big attention to it, because
Yeah.
I think it was The Crew I think it was called The Crew. It
Mhm.
was a racing server that
Yeah, The Crew.
online only, and they just decided just to kill it. It wasn't even that old either.
No, it
And
really
just
Or
was.
how about Concord?
Dude.
No.
But but I understand where you're coming from. Much like with the movies, and then I know Sony is the biggest offender right now, but a lot of gaming companies that have online services only, when they deem a game no longer profitable, despite the fact that you bought it, they'll just nuke the game, right? That's why the whole movie Stop Killing Games came about, because you paid money for it, you expect to own it forever, but it's just you're purchasing a license to play the game. You're not actually owning the physical copy. Not to mention they can just change shit, just like it would do with digital movies.
Yes, and that's why I've been paying attention to Stop Killing Games entirely when that was coming out, because, well, this is something I have a big thing with, and
Mhm.
to coincide with that, because I always laugh at this, updates on, I don't think there's any major updates, but you know about Steam getting fucking sued by New York and Washington? The
Had
state of
not heard
Washington.
that. I got to wrap
haven't
this
heard that
conversation up, but you have a final thought on it?
Yeah.
For the Stop Killing Games and everything, I'm hoping that it goes through. I know it's going through California right now, but I'm hoping this takes more nationwide, and I would find it funny, but also really relieving if this gets to Trump's ear as well. Like, I don't think it's going to win. This is not going to win him any major victories because, with
Mhm.
Iran and everything. But
I don't know. Gamergate was pretty powerful. He could harness that energy.
Don't even get me started on that.
Thank you, Golden Mike.
Don't even, that's a can of worms right there.
And we'll catch you next time. All right.
Take care, gents.
Yeah.
All right.
One final word,
appreciate all
real
the
quick.
callers. Yeah.
If you ever want to, I know CD Projekt Red's gotten in some trouble lately, but if you they have an effort on their platform GOG called Good Old Games or Game Preservation. So what they try to do is a lot older games that were made like in the 80s and stuff. They try to preserve those on their platform, and so people have been highly recommending it.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a convenience. Convenience that comes with someone else's control is always a very dangerous game. So it seems like we're entering that era with video games. But all right, appreciate our callers. We are going to end our live calls there. We got to catch up with Super Chat, and then we're going to get into some voicemails, text messages, and emails, and we'll call it a night. But with Super Chat, Ninja Kitty over on Rumble says, guarantee apartment tenants in New York City will contact the mayor's office with complaints their landlord is neglecting repairs and ignoring violations in order to pressure Mamdani's office to seize property. Well, we were talking about that on Sunday with Matt, and I am pretty open to the theories that Mamdani is not just an economically illiterate communist, that there is a plot here to secure ever more control of New York City and effectively take it over for him and his various friends. I could see that being the intent of what's going on with the rent freeze and all the other nonsense.
Mm-hmm.
But
I don't pay too much.
I agree. Yeah, I think he knows exactly what he's doing. I don't think he's a stupid person. I think he's an evil person.
Both
Zeldgear,
communist and Muslim.
Zeldgear has a shout out to Joshy Boy. He says, you are a great addition to the show. You will be missed, even though you are a monarchist.
I am not going to be niggardly.
I don't know if that was supposed to be a poem and rhyme, but it definitely did.
It definitely
It
did,
had the cadence,
but I
it had the
appreciate
rhyme.
that.
Yeah.
Good
Appreciate
job,
that,
man.
Zeldgear.
Well, either way, I agree. I like talking to you, in spite of
thank
your English ways.
Being a monarchist isn't strictly English. It's just me being.
No, it's not strictly English, but it's English enough.
Yeah, I did praise the British at one point.
Yeah, you did. I remember that.
Thank you, Zeldgear, for keeping the duct tape in operation. We really appreciate that. Over on YouTube, by the way, don't let me forget, Batman. I want to know what this Sony killed Michael Jackson thing is at the end of these super chats. Okay,
I'll write it down.
Sure.
Street Pain. Birthright citizenship doesn't mean we can't deport the parents. Sorry, those are our kids now. There's one solution. I mean, right now, the practical solution for now is get very, very serious about border security. If they're not entering the country, there is no birthright citizenship for illegal immigrants. I know that's easier said than done when all it takes is some to hop over the border. But at least for now, you can do everything you can to prevent that from happening. Of course, the second a Democrat's in power, they open the floodgates again, and we have the same problems we had under Biden. But if you stop them from entering, it's not a problem for now. We'll see if they're able to do that. Long Dong John, for the time being, the fix for birthright citizenship, the problem of birthright citizenship is a blanket ban on pregnant women entering the country. That you could do it that way too. Mm-hmm. Sorry, we're no more pregnant women entering the country until we can figure out what the hell is going on, just like the Muslim ban from the first Trump term. Yeah. It wasn't a Muslim ban, but that's what they called it.
Yeah.
Or actually, well, no, in that sentence or in that statement, I think that Trump did call for a Muslim ban. Didn't he say, I'm calling for a complete and total shutdown of Muslim immigration until we can figure out what the hell is going on? I think that's what he said.
The only issue with that obviously
would be the until.
Well, not even
that it's conditional.
Not even that, but I know most people associate Muslims with Arabs because they make up the majority of the Muslim population. But you're talking about a follower of a religion.
Yes, and
so
saying.
Ultimately, we had this whole thing. We had this whole thing when we first started this country up. When we first pulled the cord and got this country going, we decided we shouldn't be shitting on people's religions. But why was that?
Oh, I had no problem.
It was because we were fighting between each other's religions with regards to Protestantism and Catholicism. Do you think that any of the founding fathers would have thought, yeah, you know, those muzzy fuckers that we're going and fighting their pirates over off the coast of Africa, we should let them in? Do we really think that was actually the intent?
No.
I mean, I don't think anybody does. Not anybody with more than 2 brain cells to rub together.
Yeah.
They're arguing it, and they're telling us it's everyone else who doesn't understand the 14th Amendment's plain language.
Yeah. And my reasoning for bringing that up, being the follower of a religion, is that, okay, he banned certain countries in the Middle East that do that, but okay, let's say a bunch of Swedish Muslims came over here, but they weren't banned on the list. You see what I mean?
Yeah. Now, do you know how the Marine Corps was founded?
No.
Barbary War stuff. We talked about this. Tripoli stuff, yeah.
Yeah. It was basically, there were a whole bunch of fucking muzzies who decided they were going to steal our money, they were going to touch our boats, so we fucked them up. Why are we unlearning that shit?
Because we haven't dealt with that for a while. I guess we won the Barbary Wars so thoroughly we forgot. I don't know.
And then we won the Barbary Wars so hard that we forgot, and then we won all the other wars that we've had with regards to Muslims hard that we forgot.
I don't know about that lately. The record lately is a little bit rough.
No,
not because we can't.
Political will. The record lately is that we won, and then we decided to go easy.
Yeah, it's a political
tell us
problem
that we lost.
I don't think it's a problem of our military capability, certainly. I think it's a problem.
No, it's a problem with our politicians who always like communism and Islam because it allows them power.
Until Sharia law kicks in, and then it won't have any power.
Proto says, thank you, Long Dong John. Joshy Boy going Orthodox. God bless you. Welcome to the family. We have a lot work on looking at. Sorry, this got kind of jumbled. But he's just saying, glad to hear that you're making movements in your Orthodox faith, and God bless you. And a lot going on in that crowd. So God bless you, Joshy. And thank you, Proto.
Even though God Orthodoxy is even though Orthodoxy is kind of on the rise here with a recent spike, we're still in a minority when it comes to Christendom.
Yeah, I'd imagine. There is actually an Orthodox church. Probably, it's like a mile away from my house. It's so I've never gone to it, but I don't know. Should I go check it out
I'm
sometime?
sure there's one around here.
Just to go see.
Yeah, find out the name of your Orthodox church. Find out what time Divine Liturgy starts, and just attend.
Actually, I'll look it up.
Yeah, just go to it.
Go ahead. Sorry.
Yeah, just go to it. Say that you're an observer, right? You're just there to check it out, and then if you have any questions, either talk to a priest after or make an appointment with them.
Esoterica Unbound. The line between gay and merely British has always been hard to make out.
Bingo.
That's true. It's very blurry. Thank you, Esoterica Unbound. Ryan Allen, Batman, pray God will lead you to a home he wants you to serve with.
I'm planting the seeds.
I think that's exact. It's clear to me that you're searching, Batman, and so I think you're going to find exactly that. But
I'm hoping so.
Yeah.
I've been to a few. I won't say that there's none that I haven't been interested in.
Cool.
But, we'll see. I don't know exactly what I want to do yet.
Thank you, Ryan, and God bless you. Taker610, I'm taking ASAP tenant removal services as inspiration. That was the sword removal guy company. Whatever, I'm jumbling all my words there. The guy who uses the sword to remove the squatters, his company. Taking that company as inspiration and going to Europe to start Packet Stan Moving LLC. Packet Stan. That's clever. I like that.
Yeah, I like
Stan.
Deportation. Is that like a deportation? Shell company.
He removes Packies named Stan. Packet Stan. A katana may or may not be involved.
You know who that guy reminds me of? Do you guys recall that dude who stopped an attack with a samurai sword, right, on the bus?
There have been a few of those.
Yeah, but this one, I gotta find a video and shoot it to the Discord. But he was interviewed and he was like slinging it around and saying it's been folded like this, that, and the other. Because folding, that's how they make their katanas and whatnot. The guy ended up drowning, saving somebody else's life, which is real tragic. But that's what it. I mean, yeah, he was corny, but he saved someone's life at the cost
did the right
of his
thing
own.
at the right time, or at least tried to. Yeah,
at the cost of his own. So I have to respect him for that. That's what he reminds me of. I don't know why they always wear a trench coat though, but
well, in fairness, I used to wear a trench coat.
Yeah,
I used to like the look. That's
you
it.
kind of seem like a trench coat guy to me. I don't mean that as an insult or a compliment. I just mean like I could see you wearing a trench coat. That seems to fit.
No, I haven't done that in 20 years, man.
Well, at one point, you were a trench coat enthusiast.
Yeah, when I was much younger and much dumber.
Well, I was just saying, I could see it.
Look, I like the look. I like the way that the trench coat looks. All right, I think it's a fabulous
This is
look.
what I'm talking about. See, you are trench coat.
It's just that
you're
now
trench coat curious too.
No, I'm not curious. I already did it. And I realized that it's only associated with retards. It's just how it goes.
Yeah.
You heard it here. Batman's not curious. He already did it.
That's a big game, man.
I will say that
all the way off.
Yeah.
All right.
I will say before I got my jet locks, I used to wear a fedora, right? And I remember a college. Yeah, listen.
That's a big game, man.
All right.
I remember a college bully of mine saying that I was the only person he could think of that didn't look like a douchebag in a fedora. And I was like, I'm gonna remember that forever.
No, you did. You were just the only one who didn't realize you did.
Yeah,
I got a lot of compliments.
Incorrect.
All right, Matt. You've got to let us know, what was your stupid early life.
I wasn't stupid.
Like
fashion
what
choice?
Fashion choice? Well, here's a little known fact about me. I was voted best dressed in my high school. Okay, and
really?
One thing I liked to wear. I have to get the button ready for this one too. But like my junior
in high school is not necessarily a compliment.
My junior year, I would frequently wear Argyle sweater vests.
That's a big game, man.
Mr. Ross is looking.
It was a fashion choice. It worked. I think I pulled it off, but I would never do it now. So,
yeah. See, that's exactly how I feel about a trench coat. I think I look good in one, but I wouldn't wear one again.
I'm done with the fedoras. I love my dreadlocks.
Injured Guardian said, oh wait, yeah, I got a couple from Injured Guardian. Matt, finding the black pill inside the white pill. Did I meant white pill inside the black pill? Did I get it backward? Anyway, tuxedo pill. Yeah, you could call it that. That's exactly it. It's white inside of black. Yeah.
Yep.
P.S. Batman saying Muzzy Diego, as in Muzzy fang. Today should be a sounder henceforth. We could probably pull that out. I'm sure if Tim can find it for me, I could pull the soundbite out. I don't generally like to use...
I can do a better one for you.
Okay, do it right now, and I'll note the timestamp.
All right, what exactly is the quote that you want?
Well, it was just Muzzy faggot.
Muzzy faggot.
All right, so it's all right, 1:45:40. I can pull that later. Generally, I don't like to do sounders of people on the show because it gets confusing. Like if I play that while you're on the show, you don't know if that's really you.
So just use it when I'm not here.
Yeah, we could do it that way. Now we also have. Don't forget that has basically already been uttered by London Mayor Sadiq Khan. Remember?
Sadiq Khan.
Oh my God, you're right.
Muzzy terrorist. Just a gay Muzzy terrorist.
There we go.
A gay
Muzzy terrorist.
Just a gay Muzzy terrorist.
There you go.
But that's so much more stupid when you think about the accent that he's doing. Innit?
All right. Let me. I got to get through these chats. Thank you, Injured Guardian. Also says, oh, you know how you do timestamp sections of previous shows? Why is Neil adding 2 fake minutes to several videos recently? It delays my research. It depends. I doubt that Neil's doing that. If it's 2 minutes, now one thing that does happen, if you're watching the ad-free version of the show, if you are a highly respected MC Club member, that does generally cut out about 2 minutes of the show. That could be responsible for a 2-minute difference. I don't know what else would be, but Tim handles those timestamps. We appreciate his effort, and I believe them to be dead on accurate. So if they're not, then there's something mysterious going on, and I'll have to investigate.
Or if you're like me and use Brave, which uses ad blocker, you don't have to worry about ads.
Well, some people would like a benefit for supporting the show, Joshy, like being wished a good morning and slurred, and also ad-free without ad blocker. You know, that's a benefit.
I'm poor, all right?
So I have learned there is, in fact, an Orthodox church about 20 minutes away from me.
Nice.
Maybe worth a trip. Taker 610. Thank you, Injured Guardian. When citizenship, I almost did it again. When citizenship means nothing, it's citizen shit. Right. And Esoterica Unbound said the same thing. Thank you, Taker. Freudian slip, unintentionally blurting out the truth. Example, birthright citizen shit. I've done that, I think, a couple times tonight. All right, we are going to.
Citizenship.
It is true.
I'll have to just circle back with you.
We're going to leave Super Chat there, and we'll come back to it at the end of the show. Appreciate all our super chatters. And I have voicemails, emails, and actually a few text messages to get into. Really quick, Batman, I want to return to that Sony point. Can you summarize that in like a minute? Is that too hard? Is it possible? Sony killed Michael Jackson?
Basically, all of the things that you've heard about Michael Jackson diddling kids, it's bullshit.
Mm-hmm.
If you look at the people who actually did that, who accused him of that, it's all bullshit, and they all have connections to the same company, Sony. So Sony also, at the same time that all these accusations went down, were trying to buy his entire catalog.
Oh, okay. So they didn't. They at the time did not own it, but they wanted to purchase it. That's what was going
Correct.
on. So was the thinking that they were trying to devalue it before acquiring it?
No, they were trying to destroy his name. They were trying
he refused to
get
sell
him. Yes, and he still refused to sell. So they went through with a whole bunch of phony accusations, which were easily disproved. They were trying to demoralize him, to get him to sell so that he could pay these people off and go and live his life. Basically, they wanted to ruin his life. Yeah.
I've never heard of this.
Razor Fist has a 4-part series. It's a long series. So you're going to need to devote some time to it. But if you go through it, you realize all of the people who were trying to accuse him are retards. And Sony had their hand in all of it. And when he died, they even had their hand in, they even knew his doctor.
Well, Razor Fist is right about that son of a bitch Lincoln, so maybe he's right about Michael Jackson too.
I agree.
All right. Thank you for the crash course. I'll have to investigate this. We are going to get into our voicemails, and then we'll get into emails. Now, before we get into voicemails, of course, a reminder, if you'd like to leave a voicemail, email, or text message for the show, the way to do that is through the contact page on my website, mattchristiansenmedia.com/contact. Our first voicemail tonight comes to us from Concern. Actually, it's the only one I have right now. Is from Concerned Non-Citizen about overshooting targets, rhetorically, in pursuit of objectives.
Concerned Non-Citizen here. If you have never seen Team America World Police, there is a vile sex scene in it. When asked about that scene, Matt Stone and Trey Parker said that they wanted all the rest of the content they had written in the movie, so they put that sex scene in order for the censors to have an easy target, but they received no pushback. I bring this up to demonstrate a principle. If you want to accomplish something specific and you are expecting pushback, you have to overshoot your target. That principle is relevant
the art of the deal.
to the Caitlin Clark situation from this past week. I think we all know by now that the black women of the WNBA hate Caitlin, specifically because she is white and better than they are. She is the final boss of intersectionality. But if somebody from the WNBA comes out and says that the reason that the black talent hates her so much, the pushback would be entirely too predictable. Instead, we need Sean Strickland to come out and say, to paraphrase a once great man, these nappy-headed lesbians hate her because she's white and better than they are.
Thank you, Concerned Non-Citizen. Now, I generally don't follow the WNBA, because
who cares?
But I am generally familiar with Caitlin Clark, who is the rising star white straight girl who is routinely beat up in the WNBA by lesbian black chicks who probably don't like her on account of being white and straight and successful in that league. And it's not just the players who beat her up all the time. You had this, she got somewhat George Floyded on the court the other day by, God, man, the arms and the muscular definition on this chick, like choking her out. That's, I don't know. We need Michelle Obama testicle checks in the WNBA. It looks like this does not look natural.
No, we just need Sean Strickland on the court.
Well, he's the fighter
who's the bouncer.
Okay. Why is I don't totally understand the Sean Strickland reference. It's just because he's very blunt in his speech, or is there something else about him?
Do you know who he is?
Yeah, the fighter. The reason I know who he is because that one guy asked him about Pride Month or whatever it was a couple months ago or a couple years ago.
Yeah, and he basically told them to go fuck themselves with the business end of a wire brush. What?
Yeah, it was. Do I have that in here?
Are you a gay man?
Yeah, basically, Sean Strickland was a high-performing MMA champion.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
So what you do when these... What word would you like me to use here?
Who are we talking about?
You told me. The last time that I used a word, you told me off. So what word do you want?
I didn't tell you. You're allowed to say orangutan. This is an orangutan. This is not a chimp out. That's what we're looking at right here. It's orangutan. Okay, let's be respectful.
So these perfectly coiffured orangutans should have to go up against Sean Strickland if they want to behave like this.
You know what? Okay. I can do you one better than that, right? You know how they're always letting in these trans guys into women's sports?
Yeah.
Just let them in and just let them beat the shit out of these women.
I think some of these women could kick a tranny's ass. I think some of these women are men.
No, at the best levels here, I actually think they could.
Maybe.
Still, it'll be an amazing show.
Now, since the WNBA is captured by
the women's basketball.
the lesbians of color, they hate Caitlin Clark too, even though Caitlin Clark is the person making the WNBA the most relevant it's ever been. They released a 30-year anniversary poster and excluded her. Okay. They put Sophie Cunningham as the Indiana Fever player on this poster, who's the viral pointing girl right now. Who's also, on Caitlin Clark's team. And I think that's why there's a lot of hostility toward that team. They have two white chicks, who apparently have a little bit of attitude behind them. Anyway, so the league apparently snubbed Caitlin Clark that way too. So there's a lot of, like, the WNBA just can't help itself. Like they finally have a star people are interested in, and they do everything to destroy her. Now, as far as
there is a wonderful chat here from Moving Target 425, and I can't help but read this in like a Nigerian accent.
Okay,
please take these bananas and leave us alone.
Jeez.
I don't think nothing's funny about it. That's unacceptable.
But the thing is though, it's the fact, like, I'm gonna sound real racist here.
Oh,
you're allowed.
No.
You're
Don't
allowed.
do that.
Look, man,
that never happens here.
Can niggas kind of just ruin everything for black people? And the fact that I've seen a lot of stupid shit, especially since I like to watch police body cam videos, sometimes I think the North should have just stayed out of the South and just let slavery persist.
Well, speaking of the Lincoln argument, would it have? How long would it have continued in the South regardless?
It would have ended. It would have ended eventually, but albeit more slowly. But I don't know, man. Sometimes when I look at these things, it's just that orangutan is being too generous. Kind.
We need. Well, so this actually returns to a concerned non-citizen's point, which is, I'm a little bit confused on the principle, but I think what you're saying is at least I interpret what you're saying. When you have a point to make, maybe don't, you need to overshoot it rhetorically. Don't be too cautious. Don't qualify. Don't use too many asterisks. Boomer Esiason is taking some heat now because he said exactly that. A sports commentator, former NFL quarterback, saying the WNBA is abusing Caitlin Clark because she's a straight white basketball player. There are a lot of people out there saying it, but I do agree that if you've got a point that you believe in, if you are not sure and you want to qualify because you're thinking through something, that's fine. But if you're firm in your commitment, you believe something thoroughly, just say it, don't qualify. And when people challenge, then you defend it. And I certainly agree with the point there that, like, hey, if you want the truth commands more respect than being wishy-washy or hesitant or qualifying everything you're saying. If you believe what you're saying is true with everything in your mind and heart, then you just say it, man. And you overshoot that target in the way that you're describing.
Not only that, if somebody challenges you on it, you'll be able to defend it flawlessly without struggling.
Yeah. Thank you, concerned non-citizen. Let's get into email questions. And guys, don't let me forget that I do have some text messages, and I want to get those before we're finished up after the emails. All right.
Okay.
So just a handful of emails here, begging the question. Do you think enough Americans understand the utter incompatibility of Islam with the West and the dangers it poses? Do you know how anyone posted? Do you know if anyone, this is a separate question actually, do you know if anyone posted copies of the original David Wood YouTube videos before he deleted them? So you know a little bit about that? You want to address that?
Okay. Well, yes, I do actually. Yesterday I was watching him debate Andrew Wilson. Right. And you had him on your show before, and I even texted
David
you.
Wood. Yeah.
Yes, David Wood. Right. The fucker is absolutely retarded. Right. The guy cannot.
I thought he was great.
No, he cannot defend his own theology. And when you ask him basic theological questions about his faith, he simply either won't or can't answer it. Dude is fucking retarded. But he gets praised.
All right. Joshy Boy David Wood debate. I'm hosting this. Let's go.
Once I'm Orthodox, I can probably do it. Once I get a blessing from my priest, I can't do it as catechumen. But the thing is, the reason why he gets praise and people like God Logic and everything is that they solely, I wouldn't say solely, but they usually stick to Muslims because it's easy, right? They just dunk on the Muslim people. That's why a certain audiences love them. But when I would say,
what were they debating? What was the subject?
So This happened yesterday on Tuesday. David Wood made a claim that all Orthodox Christians were working under Putin, right? Because
it was all right. Because I see why you're mad now.
Yes, because the other thing is that he has beef with Jay Dyer because the two of them debated at one point. But because Jay Dyer goes to a Russian Orthodox church, which is not operated by the Kremlin, suddenly all of us Orthodox people, well, I can't say I'm Orthodox yet, but all the Orthodox Christians are working for Putin, and he tries to string all this together. But when Andrew pushed him on it, dude has nothing. There were long pauses in that debate. I watched that whole thing. Dude is a fucking idiot.
David.
He pissed me off, is what he did.
I think he's cool. I appreciate him coming. I loved his story. I really appreciated hearing from him. But yeah, I don't know anything. I've never watched him debate theologically, so I don't know.
After seeing that, I've seen him debate Andrew and Jay Dyer and somebody else before, even Alex. I've seen him debate, and I was like, okay, maybe they're just getting too heated. Maybe he's just not prepared. But after yesterday, this dude is an idiot. I can't take him seriously no more. Dude is a fucking child.
Well, do you know what? I assume the old videos that are being referenced here are anti-Islam videos. Is that what these are?
If there are anti-Islam videos, I wouldn't know about it. But if there are, I don't see why he would get rid of them.
I don't know what happened there. You'd have to ask David, and maybe he'd be able to tell you. I have no idea about the history of his old videos. But to the point to the first question, do we think Americans understand the incompatibility of Islam and the West sufficiently? I would say no. And I think there is some level of incorrect thinking on both sides. On the left, there's this delusion of tolerance and compassion and all of that. On the right, for some, I think there is sometimes warmness toward Islam for its opposition to Israel. And you can be critical of the U.S.-Israel relationship. And I certainly understand a lot of those criticisms and share them myself. I don't think that requires you having a warmness or an embracing of Islam. I think that does happen for many of these critics. I think that's I would not encourage such coziness or such openness to what I think is a destructive ideology and a destructive force. So I would say, I don't think that, even though plenty of people are critical of Islam, it's not as though that's like an unheard of thing. I don't know that I wouldn't say it's sufficient. I think that we should be more, frankly.
I think
so. There's a chat here that basically responds to this question. Nope, Americans are fucking ignorant ass people.
That's
which
Mark.
I can't help but, well, hear me out. Which I can only read in like a really urban way, so I'm assuming that's where it comes from.
I think it's pronounced ignorant in that context.
That's correct. Yeah. So actually, it was misspelled. That's right.
Yeah.
So my response to that was, Americans are the most ignorant people, except for every other people.
Yeah, kind of.
Ignorant.
Yeah,
but
I mean, we certainly have our own ignorances, but
we have our problems.
Yeah.
But we're not as retarded as the rest of the world, and people need to realize that.
Oh, that's debatable. But the thing is,
excuse me,
used to. Yeah, that's
no.
Debatable.
You want to fucking elaborate there?
We're gonna find out who the real debate retard is really quick. Go.
All right. So you say we Americans are smarter than the rest of the world, where half our population.
No, I said less ignorant. There is a difference.
Ignorant? All right, fine. I'll concede on that.
Aha, debate retard.
Okay, so we're done here, right?
Long pause. You suck.
Yes.
All right.
But let me see if I can find my.
Do you have a final thought?
I did, but I lost it.
Oh, well, debate retard. Moving on.
Yeah, that's what happens when you're stupid.
Now, see here.
Minnesota root beer enjoyer. Will the Montreal shooter gain a following like Luigi Mangione? Well, personally, I think.
I doubt it.
Now, I haven't read the manifesto. We talked about that shooting last week. But I'm going to say no, he's not going to get a following like that for several reasons. Actually, 3. Number 1, he's dead. Followings sustain through generally anticipation of future events, a trial, some sort of development in that person's case. Writing him in prison. If he goes to prison, he's gone, this guy. So there's really nothing left to follow. Number 2, he wasn't successful against his target, assuming he was indeed trying to hit the porn headquarters that was in the area. And number 3, that target isn't
even
actually
if he doesn't know how to use a Glock, he could be more successful than the Canadian shooter. Come on.
And number 3, that target, the porn HQ, is not actually a popular target for left-wingers who embrace, sex work as some legitimate thing. Now, right-wingers kind of idolize terrorist criminals as well. Look at Uncle Ted, all right? But this guy is not going to get left-wing appreciation. That generally a lot of this appreciation, too, is women. They like to make heroes out of criminals or people in prison. They like to try to right those people. It's like
women are the people who listen to true crime. They're the ones who
this guy won't be a hero to women.
Edward Cullen into a fucking sex icon, whatever.
This guy, I think he's largely already forgotten. By the way, did we ever get clarity on if the chick cop shot the civilian? I received an email from a law enforcement officer. It looked like it on video, but a law enforcement officer in Canada told me he thinks that the shooter might have actually shot the civilian basically right at the same time.
Excuse me for a second.
Okay. And it just looks like the chick cop.
All right.
Yeah, I don't know where he's going. To lick his debate wounds, apparently. But this law enforcement officer in Canada seemed relatively, maybe not convinced, but open to the possibility that it was the shooter that shot that civilian, not the chick cop. So I don't know that we ever got certainty on that.
I mean, it's possible, but it really looked like she just pointed his gun at him and then he dropped. But I mean, if there's forensic evidence that tells me wrong, that's something I'm willing to believe.
I'd have to go back and watch because in my memory, I watched it uncensored. Now that I think about it, did he kind of fall in the direction because he got shot and he sort of fell away from where the shooter was, which would
no, you
I mean,
okay.
I don't know. Maybe
when somebody gets shot, they generally fall in the direction that they're moving.
Yes. Okay. So he was both moving that way, and it would have been the trajectory of the shooter's round if the shooter shot him.
If the shooter shot him.
The mass
so
shooter.
He fell backward after she shot him when he was moving towards her?
No, what I'm saying is so civilian is moving toward chick cop.
Yeah.
The shooter is behind him. And so his direction of movement physically is the same as the bullet if the bullet came from the shooter. From the shooter would have been behind him. You get what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
Right. But I think what happened was basically he went up to the cop pointed the gun at him. He started backpedaling, and then she shot him, and he fell backwards.
Yeah, I have to go look at the direction he fell. I can't remember because
that's what I remember happening. But it's entirely possible that I'm wrong.
Yeah. Anyway, you guys think that this Montreal shooter is going to be remembered in any way?
No,
I don't think so.
I think in 3 weeks nobody will remember he exists.
Well, the fact that you guys walked through it and I finally remembered who this person was should answer the question.
There you go.
I sat here for I know I had to discipline my cat, but I sat here. I was like, yes, I don't know what he's doing.
Cat spanking.
If you can catch him, but anyway.
All right. Thank you, Minnesota Root Beer Enjoyer. Chief Justice.
He wasn't no monkey.
It's often said that there's a double standard in our society where if men sleep with a bunch of women, they are perceived as cool. But if women sleep with a bunch of men, they are perceived negatively. Do you agree that double standard exists? If so, do you think this analogy explaining why the double standard exists, or what do you think of this analogy? The analogy is a key that unlocks many locks is a good key. A lock that can be opened with many keys is a bad lock. Now, the gist of this is that men are keys, women are locks, and since getting sex is generally harder for men than it is for women, it is seen as more of an achievement for men to get laid more often. Do you think that is a good analogy? I didn't come up with it. It's something I just heard. Okay, so promiscuity is the same immorality for men and women. Now, some in the manosphere or maybe other areas of philosophy, they might dispute that premise. But the reason it's the same immorality for both is that, it's the sign tapping truth.
Don't make me tap the sign.
The purpose of the sexual relationship is children. Okay, monogamous commitment through marriage is the institution that protects that purpose and those children. However, So morally speaking, they're the same. Like a promiscuous man is committing the same immoral behavior that a promiscuous woman is. However, the reason I think that the lock and key analogy here does have some truth to it is that traditionally and rightfully, men pursue and women are won. And so for a man to succeed in his pursuit, as it's perceived here, even if it's promiscuous, there's still
means he has a good key.
Well, I mean, he's succeeding in the pursuit, even if it is a deviation from its pure form and from the intended form. And so there's still something that is respected about that. For a woman not to be won,
his
but to
key is bronze.
Yeah, maybe.
Whereas a properly used key is gold.
Correct. It's like a difference in degree, but it's not a difference in kind necessarily. I don't know. You get what I'm saying? Like there's something that is correct about the pursuit, even if the pursuit, the way it was done here is a deviation. But for a woman not to be won, to give herself up freely, in fact, that's actually a total betrayal of her role in this arrangement. So again, even though the promiscuity,
there are a lot of broke-ass locks in today's society.
Indeed. Yeah. Again, same moral wrong for both, same moral principles apply to both. But I do think that the analogy explaining some differences is true. It is correct. Would you guys agree?
Yeah.
Yes.
Generally, yeah.
All right. No defense of the sleuths. I can't believe it.
Well, look, when I was in college, I made my way around. It's not something that
What did you say earlier? I'm not curious. I tried it. Yeah.
Oh, shut up, man. It's not something that I'm proud of anymore.
Yeah.
But once upon a time, I was. Because it was like, look at all these chicks that I could get my hands on.
Look at all these chicks I could fit in my trench coat.
It's not quite. Those were not the same eras, but the joke is appreciated.
Sure.
Yeah. Once upon a time, I was a little bit of a man whore.
You were an accomplished key.
Yeah,
I was a very rusted bronze key. Yes.
Jeez. All right.
And that's something that I regretted very, very much.
Mm-hmm.
It was not something that brought me happiness. It was not something that brought me anything that I could use. And all of those people I don't talk to anymore.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Because they weren't, first of all, worth my time, really. And second of all, they were failures as female partners, if that makes sense. So
failures. Well, I guess I understand what you mean, but can you explain that a little bit more? Failures.
None of them wanted children. Okay. None of them wanted families. Yeah. None of them wanted proper lives. So it was just me going, okay, I'm going to, experience pleasure. Sure. But I'm not going to enjoy what should come from that.
Yeah.
There's more to just physical pleasure. There's something that there's more to it. There's something further down the line that needs to be, that you need to aspire to.
Don't make me tap the sign.
Indeed.
Mm-hmm. So, I mean, sure. And that was something that I actually had to explain to my wife, who was, before I met her, very virginal and extremely pure and very trusting. I had to tell her, once upon a time, my life was not so great.
Well, you lucked out, my man. Not that I have to tell you.
It was not easy.
Yeah. I mean, that's got to be an incredibly difficult conversation.
It was. Yeah, I basically had to tell her, hey, I used to be a fucking man whore. And there's, there were problems that I had before, and there were problems that I will probably still suffer from. But this is what I want from life. This is where I wanted to go, and this is, what I'm after. And We've been married for years now.
Mm-hmm. I will say the proper term for that will be whoremonger. I wouldn't call yourself a man whore.
Fuck all the way off.
But it makes you sound gay, right? If you call I'm a man whore. But
what is the proper term? Whoremonger?
Yeah, whoremonger. That's what you call the guys.
Whoremonger or monger?
Okay,
whoremonger.
All right. I get what you're saying. Okay,
yeah.
Right,
I don't even know what that.
The point is, I don't want any of that now. My title now is husband and father, and that's it. That's all I want.
Yeah,
an occasional Caped Crusader.
Sure. All right. Thank you, Chief Justice, and thank you, Batman, for giving us that story. Man, trench coats and rusty keys and lots of Batman history tonight.
I was gonna.
It's been a funky night, I guess.
Yeah. I was gonna make a joke since I am on my way out. Is that I never had that experience. I have been hit on by dudes though.
Oh,
okay.
Tell me it ain't so.
Well, likewise, I don't know what kind of key and lock that is, but that key doesn't go into that lock, and you should inform them if they attempt it again.
I had to tell one dude, like I had to tell two dudes twice. No.
Okay, well, I hope we need a new episode of Property Enforcer where they try to get forceful in their advances and you sword them in self-defense.
Yeah,
all right.
Ultimately, you don't have anywhere near enough of a lisp to be.
Well, to briefly touch on why that is, in my area, there are male prostitutes, right?
And so this is like a Nougat thing.
Well,
you just look like the man whores of Nougat.
Is that where the dreads come from?
No, but I don't know. I don't dress any way to indicate that. I just like to go for my Sunday walks, and I would say on maybe 4 or 5 different occasions, I've just been approached. This is during the day too.
Wow, it's not even like you're going out at 2 a.m. or something. Okay.
No, this is like in the afternoon when the sun has decided its highest.
All right. I had these are crazy stories I had no expectation of tonight. So
I thought it was funny. Most people would be offended by that.
Here we are, I guess. Why don't we move along?
Racist. Hey, Ray. On one of the episodes, Matt Palumbo asserted that he had a worldview of a mainstream Democrat from 1840 playing into the idea that he would have supported slavery. Okay. Or he would be in support of slavery. Would a racist person, not calling the other Matt racist, from today oppose slavery as that would require them being in the proximity of blacks? Much of the white-black racial animosity comes from blacks being in the proximity of whites. So first of all, Matt is very disappointed that you're not calling him racist. I think he would prefer the title. But my understanding is today's identitarians, like if you're a white identity person, I don't think I've heard from anybody who is a white identity person who is pro-slave. Like they would want an 1840s Southern plantation where they have enslaved black people in their ideal world. Everything I've heard from people of that persuasion is they just want separation. So I would assume that, first of all, I would assume they'd oppose slavery on moral principle, even independent of race, generally speaking.
Mm-hmm.
But if there is a racial component to it, I don't think that their quote unquote hatred of black people. I've never heard of anybody who hates black people so much they want black slaves, at least currently. That's not a perspective I'm familiar with, if anybody's saying that.
Yeah, I think they want slaves, just not black slaves. I'm just kidding. I'm kidding. I'm kidding.
I don't know. I guess I haven't heard all the arguments.
In Minecraft.
Yeah. You guys have anything else you want to add to that one?
Well, if we ever head towards...
I've never met a white person in my entire life who thought, or who at least stated to me, I want slavery to still exist.
No,
I've never met a single one.
If we ever do go towards resegregation, remember I'm not black. Right?
They cast you out. You've been exiled. Well, that sucks because I need a quick end pass here for Buster Cherry.
Okay.
Okay. Yeah. You read it, Joshy.
Okay.
Wait. No. Well, no. I had this set up. I got buttons for this.
All right.
Buster Cherry. Good one.
Mm-hmm.
Buster Posey is a nigga faggot, and he gets what he deserves. Also, if you read this,
you are a nigger.
Love the show. Keep up the good work. Fags. I don't know. That's not even really a question. It's just an observation of Buster Posey. Thank you for the endorsement of the show. Now, Buster Posey is, I'll give you a quick recap, Joshy, because we talked about this on Sunday. Buster Posey does deserve it. So Buster Posey is the general manager and or president of baseball operations for the San Francisco Giants, the baseball team.
Oh, I heard about this.
Okay. Yeah.
So they held Pride Night earlier in June. The players wore the rainbow caps. Several players protested by putting Bible verses on their caps. Now everyone's pissed off because it's not gay enough for the gays and it's too gay for normal people. And Major League Baseball doesn't like their uniforms being altered or defaced, as they put it. So the lesson of Buster Posey for anyone who runs a business in more on less crude terms than expressed here, is that when you start down that social activism road, it is, yes, a distraction from your business and your business purpose. It will bite you as it bit Buster Posey. And even though I'm firmly on the side of, yeah, I just want to talk about baseball, please stop asking me about butt sex, like Buster Posey was saying.
Yeah.
You don't actually get to do what Buster Posey did, which is invite the gay stuff with the Pride Night and the social activism, and then all of a sudden reverse and say, no, I don't want to talk about gay stuff. Why are you asking me about gay stuff? You made it gay. You made it gay first. And so even though those reporters are annoying and wrong, you did it. All right. You invited the butt sex. Now you must deal with the butt sex. And if you don't want to talk about it because that's not your job, you're correct. Then don't ever talk about it, because it's not your job. And so don't do the Pride Night bullshit.
Now he has AIDS.
Yeah, well, many people in San Francisco do, I think.
He's going to be surrounded by big Nick diggers.
Okay. Big Nick. What the I thought that was you on a noon walk through Nuga. You're surrounded by big Nick diggers trying to pick you up.
I will say that was. Okay, I'm not going to go further. But anyway.
Keep your shovel by your side.
Yeah.
All right. Kindly take these bananas and get the hell out of here, or whatever the saying was. Anyway, okay, I got a couple of voicemails, and then we'll call
text
it a night.
messages.
Yeah, sorry, text messages. You're right. Thank you. My brain is lost right now. Okay, let's see. We got a couple here. Okay, so I don't know who the texter is, but the texter says the Venn diagram of all people who are experts on and clinging to the phrase and subject to the jurisdiction thereof, and the people who can't seem to understand the phrase shall not be infringed, that's a single circle. Yeah, okay. So people who love the 14th Amendment is the law of the land, the Democrat Party posted today, and that was one of the responses. Right.
You should make that meme.
So is the Second Amendment. But yes, you could meme this where, yes, they're so clear. They know everything about the definition of subject to the jurisdiction thereof, but even more plain language shall not be infringed. That is mysterious. That's a question mark. That's a difficult thing to solve. Also,
if you don't, I will make that meme. I'm not kidding. I like that.
Yeah, do it. With all the learn the history of your American heroes talk from Frank, introduce him to the fat electrician on YouTube if he doesn't already know him. Look him up yourself. Can't recommend enough for learning your American heroes. I've heard this name and I know a lot of people like him, but I don't know his material.
He usually does a lot of World War II stuff, a lot of unknown stories too. He did one where they airdropped gophers or beavers or something like that?
Yes, into Idaho, in fact.
Yeah.
What? When was this?
Beavers.
Beavers,
not gophers, but yes.
Why did they do this?
They were in
they were trying to get rid of them in other places. So they airdropped them into a place where they thought they would be first of all happier because they were trying to be humanitarian.
They survived.
And second of all,
how were they airdropped? Like, what are they in something that lands?
He goes through the whole goddamn thing. It is awesome.
Airborne beavers. I never heard of this.
I mean, my buddy of mine, he loves World
There
War II
were involved
stuff.
Boxes that could take the impact from being dropped from a plane with parachutes, and that would break open upon impact. It was really cool.
Maybe they chew their way out if they're stuck. Who knows?
Yeah, but they thought of everything. But my buddy, he loves World War II stuff, and he introduced me to him. Now, I'm not too interested in World War II things, I did find that very fascinating.
Yeah. We know you're a fag.
Listen now. You saw the anime.
All right. I got another texter from Utah. Thank you to that first texter.
Let me at least extol the virtues a little bit of the Fat Electrician. He is one of the best storytellers I've ever seen on YouTube.
Oh yeah.
He's a really, really good storyteller.
Yeah.
And he goes in depth into various things that I think most people have never read about. He is one of the reasons why I've gone and found books to read about World War II. Now, he is so prevalent that actually the last show that I was on, do you remember there was a little bit where somebody asked me what if there was ever a naval prize crew that stole a ship and then stole another ship with that ship?
Yeah.
My response was, my first thought is Stephen Decatur and the USS Philadelphia incident, right? Do you remember that?
No,
yeah, sorry, I'm hacking up a lung here.
No worries. Do you remember that?
If that's what you referenced. I mean, I remember the chat bringing that up, but I can't remember the specifics of your response.
Okay. I noticed, I didn't bring it up in the chat, or I didn't bring it up on the show rather, but I noticed that somebody in the Rumble chat actually said, "You learned that from the Fat Electrician."
Was he right?
No, actually I learned that elsewhere. But
well, maybe he did.
It is fair to make that
covered
assumption
it.
because he is a fabulous storyteller. He's very good about his research, and he is worth a watch, and you all should.
Thank you to the texter. Next texter says, "Hey, Matt, love the show. Thank you." This texter's from Utah. We got hammered by wildfires last month. I think they're still on fire in a lot of that state, aren't they? A lot of them human caused. The state's now banned fireworks. And for the most part, people here have actually come together to not burn the state down any further, but some are still lighting them off anyway. What's your take on a moratorium like this? And to the people breaking it, patriotic or selfish? I'm torn. We're abstaining from private fireworks this year, but I can't fully blame people for wanting to do them anyway, especially this year. Then again, the governor who backed a data center in Utah is now saying we're low on firefighting resources and 3 firefighters have died. Ooh, this is a tough one because I do think that we all have an obligation of absolute Jackassian celebration this weekend. I also understand that Colorado and Utah are in fairly serious states of drought, and these fires are very real and to very damaging effect. If it was me, I think that the spirit of the event is more important than any particular celebration of. Do I think you're like not patriotic enough if you choose to respect the serious fire danger that's going on right now? No, I think there are a million different ways that you could be sufficiently patriotic. So I would say that I would. Oh, God, am I really going to bitch out and say that I would honor it? Or, okay, if I was going to break it, I would say given the danger that is real, it's not even theoretical. Like that state is actually on fire right now. If you're going to break it, I would probably find a place where a fire is an actual impossibility. I mean, like a parking lot so large that there's literally nothing to burn.
A forest with absolutely no dry brush, if that's at all possible where you are.
I don't know if let's say you live down in the southern part of the state where it's all just like, I don't know, like I guess there's a lot of like dry vegetation in that area, but you know, those kind of like deserts where there's almost no vegetation. Doesn't Utah have a lot of those? I don't know, where they drive all the Jeeps and stuff. Maybe I'm wrong. I can't remember. Anyway, if you're going to do it, I would take precautions. I wouldn't just light it anywhere and act like, who cares? There's no real risk. So I would be inclined to take precautions and or not get crazy with fireworks given that reality. Do you guys think that's wrong or?
No, I don't. Because I don't think it's patriotic to light your entire neighborhood on fire.
It's not great. It's not it is the downside of ruining the entire weekend is fairly high.
Exactly. So none of your compatriots, none of your fellow patriots can enjoy the night if you set your entire community on fire.
Sounds like there are still fireworks displays, by the way. They're still going to have them. It's just whether you're lighting it off in your backyard.
Yeah, exactly. Go to one. You know, it may take you some drive time, but that's what I would do. Or I would downscale. You know, go and get some poppets or something like that, and just have some fun and keep a fire extinguisher around.
The spirit is the most important thing, rather than any particular gesture. Yeah.
Yeah, just find another way to celebrate. Even if you don't involve fireworks, play really loud American music, wave the flags or something like that. I don't
Maybe
know.
all you got to do is just grill shit up. You know,
that's the best part. That's what I'm looking forward to the most.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I just bought a grill for the first time a couple months ago.
I was going to say, what the hell have you been doing with your life? But then I remembered living in New York. So that answers
I was living in LA before I was living in New York. And living in LA, you have a grill, you are going to set your entire neighborhood on fire, and it will go for 48 acres.
They'll raid
or,
you,
or 448 acres if really. But in New York, it's a little bit different. You still get fireworks and stuff like that, but that's usually from the people that you don't want to get close to.
Thank you to our Utah texter. Turles has a text, says, in honor of the semi-quincentennial, the 250th anniversary of the country, I'd like to recommend a book by James P. Byrd called Sacred Scripture, Sacred War. The book studies the biblical considerations and arguments of American revolutionaries, following how the Protestant mindset helped shape the birth of the country. Sorry, Joshy. They were more than aware of the question of the morality rebellion. And unlike the French, who rejected religion and all things of the former world, our founders aimed to show how our independence movement was justified in biblical context. That's it. Happy 250th, everyone. And like Frank said, study up and learn to appreciate what we have. God bless you, Turles. Thank you for your contributions to the show. Happy 4th. And I've been watching a lot of Founding Fathers stuff. And lately, I've been watching this Thomas Jefferson miniseries on Netflix, and which has a lot of interesting information in there, but I can also tell there's a lot of leftist bullshit. They there was a point, they do talk about Thomas Jefferson's view of Christianity and deism and all this. They also had a part where Thomas Jefferson wrote in some observations about Virginia, writing to a Frenchman. I forget exactly who it was, but Thomas Jefferson said there will never be peace between white people and black people because of the nature of slavery, and it will forever be a grievance and a source of conflict. And the Netflix show was acting like, oh, he was so wrong about race and about all this. Like, you guys think we don't still have racial grievance based on slavery today? You think that Jefferson was wrong about that? But they have educated, highly respected scholars insisting that I'm the crazy one. It's like, dude, everything you're saying is 100% correct. What are you talking about? You crazy Black Lives Matter people? You're the one causing the conflict based on the grievance of slavery.
Mm-hmm. Oh, hey, real quickly. One of my coworkers showed me up in New York, they was holding the first hearing for reparations, and they're not asking, they're demanding $800,000 per black person.
That's a lot, but they'll still find a way to waste it.
No, I'm just saying that. I mean, first of all, Canadians going to spend it on nothing but shoes, grills, and hoes. But where
you
they
get the
gonna
finest ones on the Nuga sidewalk for that much money, for sure.
Unless they're Presbyterian, then it's all over.
If I'm vibrating, it's because my dog just came into this room. There are fireworks going off outside, and she is terrified. So she is currently in my lab, and she's she's not doing great.
Huh. Oh, because of the fear of the fireworks? That's why?
Yeah, she hates fireworks. Here she is.
Oh, very nice.
Well, luckily the Mexicans in my neighborhood aren't shooting off yet.
Thank you, Turles. All right, last text. Hey, Matt, I have to disagree on letting the South continue to have slavery. The ideal outcome would have been preventing slavery, thus stopping the Nelsons from becoming an issue. Though I would mourn the loss of our Joshy Boy. Joshy Boy is exiled from the Nelson community. They don't like the KTLA Americans don't like Joshy Boy, so he's not included with them.
No.
Now, of course, it would be my preference morally and in terms of race relations to have slavery never be an institution in the United States. It's wrong, independent of the racial component. It's wrong because nobody owns the labor of another on moral terms. That's something we never should have done. But if I'm operating in the world where slavery was an institution and states had authority over that, that's kind of where I'm coming from with the talk of Lincoln and how slavery may or may not have continued in the South. The fact of the matter is that industry was moving beyond slavery. And so just as a practical matter of business competition, I don't think slavery was going to sustain in the South. Well, why do we always attribute victory in the Civil War to the Union? Primarily, it's industrial advantage in the North where slavery was not an institution.
Yeah.
And so if we believe that's the case, then yeah.
We continue to attribute slavery to this couple of people who sort of stand historically as champions of anti-slavery, right? We think about Abraham Lincoln, for example, who had to be bullied into signing the Emancipation Proclamation by another guy who was an actual good person. That's something I learned. That's something I learned from the fat electrician.
Is that because I haven't heard about the bully characterization. I've watched all the Razorfist stuff on this, but who's the other guy?
His name is Cassius Marcellus Clay.
Oh, that's right. Razorfist did talk about this because it's like the name that Muhammad Ali. What's the connection to Muhammad Ali?
Cassius Clay was his original name.
Muhammad Ali's original name was Cassius Clay. He was named after this man.
Got it.
Yeah.
And then Muhammad Ali decided to abandon that shit in favor of naming himself after Islamic fucking whoredom.
And then bitched out when it was time to take the draft.
And then bitched out when it was time to take the draft. And then changed his mind later on and wound up being a huge proponent of, I believe it was Reagan. I think I'm not 100% sure, but he basically wound up changing his mind near the end of his life. It was just like, I was totally wrong.
Well, thank you to our texters, emailers, voicemail callers, whatever I can call them. In fact, I'll refresh, make sure we're good on those. Yeah, we're all caught up. As a reminder, if you'd like to leave a voicemail, text message, email for the show, contact page on my website is where you do that, mattchristiansenmedia.com/contact. And with that, it's time to catch up on Super Chat and call it a night over on Rumble. Laughing Boy says, I bought more guns and I'm going to smoke a brisket. That's how I'm celebrating this year. Happy 250.
That
By
sounds
the grace
fucking
of God,
awesome.
We make 300. Be safe and smart, everyone. Well, God bless you. And hey, if you can't do the fireworks, buying firearms and cooking things sounds like a great way to celebrate the holiday.
Oh, I think on July 4th, I'm going to take some time to go to the range. I think it's worth it.
Might be packed, but it's a great patriotic gesture. Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. Thank you, Laughing Boy.
I'm not shaking the microphone, am I?
I don't hear
No, you're good, dude.
Okay, because she's vibrating against my desk, so
Tim
she's
says,
very fearful right now.
In response to Injured Guardian, firstly, I do different timestamps for the free stamps and the for the free streams and the ad-free version, as there's about a minute 30 to 2 minutes difference between the two. Right, that's about the ad break. I also double check the timestamps are all accurate before posting them. If there is a difference, it could have to do with the processing time too. When I have to delete the ad from the ad-free, it takes a while for YouTube to do that. So we might be seeing a difference there. But I know Tim's pretty on it as far as his timestamp accuracy, so I hope they're holding up. Thank you, Tim. Esoterica Unbound. Joshy's right about the distinction between the terms man whore and whoremonger. Leave it to the Orthodox practitioners to be experts on such things. Haha.
Yeah, but the problem is I learned that while I was Protestant, so.
Oh. Tim also says the most annoying thing about people defending women's sports like the WNBA is them not understanding why people watch sports. People want to see the best athletes. Men are faster, stronger, etc. And so women's sports will never be as good or popular. Yeah, I mean, the WNBA, like I said, I'm not a fan. I don't know that I ever will enjoy that. The only situation in which it makes some sense to me is you've got a daughter your daughter's into sports and you want to have someone to look up to, you get into it that way. I understand that. The WNBA will always have to recognize it's going to be kind of a niche thing in that way. But they can't, like, instead they buy into this delusion of equality that they should make the same amount of money as NBA players, even though they generate a fraction of the revenue and they run at a fraction of the speed and they can't dunk and all this. No, if you understand your role and you understand, like, sure, we're not the NBA, but we have our role and we're going to cater to it. Guess what? You cater to it by embracing the Caitlin Clarks and really leaning into that, like, oh, she's a great role model for my little girl who loves basketball. Great. That's how you make your money and that's how you do well. But instead they have to try to be men. They can't lean into being women who play basketball. They have to try to be men of just a less impressive form. Can't run as fast, can't jump as high, can't dunk. Stop trying to be men and be women, and you have something. It's not going to be the NBA, but there is some appeal possible. Why do you think people like Caitlin Clark and actually people like Sophie Cunningham, that blonde teammate of hers, much more? Because she looks like a woman. That's why they like her. She looks recognizably female. That's why. So lean into that.
Also, if you want more people to get people interested in women's sports, pole vaulting is one thing.
Well, here's what I was thinking. There are certain sports, actually, that women do better at. So encourage girls to do that instead.
Yeah.
Don't encourage girls to do basketball. Men are better at that. Don't encourage girls to do football. Men are better at that. Don't encourage girls to do soccer. Men are better at that. Baseball, whatever. Encourage them to do things like ballet, gymnastics.
Yeah, I don't even have a problem with, like, I don't think you have to be better than to play it. It's just understanding that it's not the same thing, you know? That's the problem with the WNBA. They often don't seem to understand that it's not the same thing. You know?
Well, there should be men and women's sports. They should just be different sports.
Yeah.
You seem like you don't necessarily agree with that.
I'm not sure I follow exactly. I thought it was just like a tranny joke or something.
Did I not make that clear?
I guess I misunderstood. Repeat it to me again.
Okay. Don't encourage girls to play baseball or basketball
But I play softball
or football.
No, I understood that part.
Or soccer.
It was the
or
last
anything like
the
that.
last statement. Yeah.
Encourage them instead to do gymnastics, where their flexibility is going to be better at their age than men will be.
Yeah, no, I guess what I'm saying, I don't dispute that point. What I'm saying is I don't think there's anything wrong with encouraging girls to play sports where they may not be as good or better than men. It's just understanding and recognizing that that the male competition in that sport is superior. And that's fine. There's not anything wrong with that, but don't tell me that they're the same thing and act like one is going to generate the same revenue as the other.
Right, but we tried that, and the result was Title IX.
I don't know that, I think the application of Title IX is, first of all, let me back this up. The federal government shouldn't be involved in education at all. So let's scratch Title IX on principle for that reason. But if I was designing the way education works in my state, do I have a problem with a law in my state that says that there should be equal opportunity for boys and girls? They don't have to play the exact same sports, but like there's boys program A and girls program B, and they're roughly equivalent. I mean, I think that's fine. I don't have a problem with that, but of course, the Title IX has been twisted to mean all sorts of bullshit it never meant.
I mean, I understand where you're coming from, but again, I think the trouble is we tried that. We tried to delineate, there's men's soccer and women's soccer and all this other shit. Nobody watches men's soccer, or excuse me.
Nobody watches either.
Nobody watches women's soccer. Nobody watches women's basketball. Nobody watches women's baseball. I don't even know if there is a women's baseball league. I don't think there is.
There's softball, but different sport. Slightly.
Okay, nobody watches women's softball then.
What do you mean? The College World Series was just
you are encouraging if you train them throughout their lives to play a sport where they have no future,
Well, no,
you are doing
but
them a disservice.
Like, am I? If I have my daughter play sports, am I doing that with the intent of her being a professional athlete? No, I'm doing it.
Yeah. That is exactly what I mean. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. Well, I think that is at some level, if
delusional.
not fully delusional, kind of. But yeah, but what I'm saying is in the context of school, where it's mere opportunity for, say, athletic activity, team building. Sure. I mean, I don't care that the girls' basketball team is never going to be as good as the guys, but I see what you're saying. If you are pursuing a professional opportunity, that's
you
crazy.
Can get those same exact skills elsewhere. They can be part of the color guard. They can be gymnasts.
But
they can be cheerleaders. They can be.
Do you have a problem that there's, say, a girls' basketball team at the high school? Is that a problem? I wouldn't consider that a problem.
I think a couple of years ago, I would say no.
Yeah, I mean, I don't think that women's sports needs to be deleted. I just think it needs to be understood properly in its context.
But it isn't.
Well, then you understand it properly in its context. You don't delete the whole thing. I don't think it would be beneficial to delete all women's sports in school or something like that. I think there's probably lots of benefit to girls to playing those sports, and it's fine if they do. But they shouldn't expect that they're going to become NBA stars in the same way that men might, but it's kind of delusional for anybody
but
to
they
think that
are
they're gonna...
thinking that because that's what they're training their whole lives to do.
I don't think there are a lot of women training their whole lives to become pro athletes. I think it's a subset. I think it's a small group.
I agree. But those ones that are training their whole lives to do that, they're wind up being Angel, what's her fucking face?
Angel Reese, yeah. No, I don't think that like girls basketball existing in high school compels that. I think it's an ideological consequence of gender equity more broadly, but I don't think that girls sports requires anybody to believe that. I think you can...
Right, but the problem is gender equity more broadly is what brought those teams into existence in the first place.
I mean, what I'll have to I'm closing in on a 3-hour show, so I'm watching the clock here. But
I'm sorry. I'm backing up to where these teams came from in the first place.
Yeah, I mean,
right.
I understand what you're saying.
There were girls who wanted to compete with the boys, and it didn't work out.
So you mean way back when we just had boys teams?
Way back when we decided we were going to make the first girls basketball team or what the fuck ever.
Yeah.
We decided, hey, let's break up the sexes into different teams that would compete against each other so that there could be a measure of fairness. The real idea was tell all of those girls there are different sports for you. Try those instead.
I don't think they have to, and I'll close on this thought too. I don't think that the sport, if I was going to design an education system that's generally has the principle of equal opportunity, I don't think the programs have to be exactly the same. It is to say boys can have football and girls can have volleyball, and I don't think there's a problem with that.
Exactly.
Right. But if I was going to, I would not be in favor if I was designing the program of all opportunity all for boys and none for girls. Right. I mean, that doesn't necessarily make sense to me.
Okay. But if we don't make a girls basketball team, and instead we only make a girls volleyball team, a girls gymnastic team, a girls whatever softball team.
I mean, I don't have a huge problem with that.
Then they have avenues to go in and experience athleticism and teamwork and all that other stuff, and they don't have to go up against the guys.
All right, so
they never would have had to.
We've gone in a big circle to just arrive at the conclusion, which I think you and I both agree on. Maybe I wasn't clear about this point earlier. Maybe I wasn't clear in my own head. It's all solved if we just delete women's basketball.
You know what? Fair enough. We can leave it at that.
That's not the point I made earlier, so I'm now retracting my prior point. Just delete women's basketball. We fix all our problems. All right. Sorry, I'm losing my voice here. Hold on.
There's at least one more super chat. Do you want me to read it?
I got it. Injured Guardian. Someone made the Star-Spangled Banner with AR-15s and steel targets in tempo. P.S. Batman. Look up the Limited Seas by Dean
No, I saw that already.
Audiobook is the best. So they played the Star-Spangled Banner by shooting steel targets.
Oh, yes. That's cool. Then he's talking about a book. And actually, I've also read that.
Injured Guardian also says dog breed and name, please.
So she is actually mostly... she is mostly Chihuahua.
Ooh, dangerous.
So you wouldn't think... Well, you wouldn't think it to look at her or for her behavior. She is also a large part Shih Tzu.
Wait, I was thinking Chow. That's how fried my brain is. Chihuahua?
Yeah,
Chihuahua. Yeah.
Chihuahua? That's a giant dog.
She's not that big.
Looks pretty big. Bigger than a Chihuahua.
Dog. Smaller end of medium-sized dog. She's not that big. And she's mostly Chihuahua, Shih Tzu, and actually Pit Bull.
Yeah, the Pit Bull brings that in.
So actually, all right, she will bite your face off.
No, she is incredibly well behaved. She is well trained. She's just afraid of fireworks, that's all.
She's a very timid Chihuahua Pit Bull.
She's not really timid unless there are gunshots or fireworks going off.
Yeah. Okay. I think we're all set on our chats. Joshy Boy, you want any final word before we send you off?
The only thing I'll say is Christ be with you. And I guess I'll see you when I see you.
Yeah, man. I trust you're not going to be gone forever. You'll be in the Discord server if people want to hop in there, and I hope you'll drop an email or a voicemail or participate in the show here and there because we'd love to hear from you. And of course, you're always welcome to be in touch. If you want to stop in any capacity, you have my information. You can message me, and we'll see what we can do.
If somebody trash talks orthodoxy, my awakening will be here. And I'm like, you know what? Let me tell you prots something. No, I'm just kidding. But yeah, man.
You profligates.
Listen here, you son of a bitch.
No, man, seriously, I shit on you all the time, but you are a good man, and I'm looking forward to the next time you manage to make your way on here.
Oh yeah. Right now,
we love you. You're very special.
I just need to figure myself out, and hopefully, I'm also just trying to I say this all the time, but I need to actually go out and do it. It's hard for an introvert like myself to go out and not necessarily just meet people, but meet women too, right?
It's tough, man.
Yeah. It's trying to.
But I think that if you're serious about getting more involved in your faith journey in your church, it's going to lead you there. So I hope you do.
Yeah.
You're going to find that, and you'll find the right landlord's granddaughter when you start carrying a samurai sword and doing some property enforcement.
And calmly and kindly rejecting her if she's Presbyterian.
Okay.
That ending is just, it was
Great.
perfect. It was great. I loved it.
All right. Well, thanks to everybody for tuning in tonight. Thanks to our live chatters and super chatters for making the live show a success. If you're listening on demand later, thank you kindly as well for supporting the show. Thanks to Frank for joining, quitefrankly.tv for all things Quite Frankly. Thanks to Joshy Boy and Batman. We wish Joshy all the best with his next moves, and we look forward to his morning greetings in the Discord server. Thanks to producer Tim for his assistance as well. All right, have a great 4th of July. Remember, be the most patriotic jackass in your neighborhood, because our country needs it. We'll see you on Sunday.
Yes.